we're going to come to you on the pregame show and talk about these. Okay. From Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving, Texas, it's the district opener for UIL District 7-6A between the Irving Tigers and the Jesuit Rangers. Hello there, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Jesuit Ranger football. My name is Chris Ackles, class of 2009. Standing to my right, Kevin Fitzsimmons from the class of 2011. Kevin, district play starts tonight. Now the season really gets going.
Chris, great to be back with you since week one. We haven't had a chance to be back together, so happy to be back in the booth with you. And as you mentioned, here starts district play for the Rangers tonight. A week off last week. Seniors had community days. We'll talk more about that throughout the broadcast. But now here we go. It's a 0-0 slate, right, for the Rangers. Non-district play doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the district slate for the rest of the season.
You know, it's no secret for a lot of our listeners, the Rangers coming into this game 0-3 with losses to Hebron, New Orleans Jesuit, and Highland Park. Here's the thing, Kevin. 8 of the last 9 seasons, Jesuit has had a losing record in non-district play for those first 3 games of the year. 8 of the last 9 seasons, they turned around and had a winning record in district. In fact, not just winning record, but 8 of the last 9 seasons, they had a 5-2 or better record in district play. Those games mean nothing for playoffs. The season really starts tonight as far as playoff eligibility, and that's a good thing for Jesuit.
Absolutely, Chris. And when you look at the success over the last few years, especially in this stadium here in Irving, the Rangers are 9-0 in the last 3 years, 3-0 against the matchups with each of the Irving teams. Nimitz, Irving High School, who we have tonight, and Irving MacArthur. So that bodes well for the Rangers tonight as we look at being back here enjoying Ralph Ellis Stadium, hoping for another successful campaign for the Rangers this evening.
Let's thank a couple of our partners tonight. Barrel and Bones is proud to support Jesuit Dallas and our community. Support local and catch every Jesuit game on the big screens at Barrel and Bones. You can order online or deliver by using code Jesuit for $5 off your order. As the players on the field are just about to pause for the national anthem, Kevin, before this season started, you and I had an opportunity to sit down with head coach Brandon Hickman. Earlier today, Sports Information Director Brian Henry sat down with him, and he talked through his 3 keys to the game. Let's talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, Coach Hickman, I think, really wanting to stop this Irving run attack. As you think about what Irving will try to do on the offensive side of the ball tonight, Chris, it's going to be 25% pass, 75% run in their first 3 games of the season. And so we'll look to stop the talented running back duo of Irving. Coach also mentioned on the offensive side of the ball, wanted to get the offense going early. So far, we haven't had a chance to get on the board early. Had 2 offensive touchdowns in the 3rd game against Highland Park. Looking to continue that offensive momentum here and to eliminate mistakes, penalties, turnovers, those sorts of things. If the Rangers can limit those sorts of things, we know they're going to be in a good position to get the victory tonight against the Tigers.
Irving comes into the game with a 1-2 record in non-district play. And you mentioned kind of a dual threat at the running back position. We'll see what that's all about here in just a moment. The teams are on the field right now for the national anthem as Irving's band and ROTC program present it. We will pause for 30 seconds to honor our nation. Barrel and Bones is proud to support Jesuit Dallas and our community. Support local and catch every Jesuit game on the big screens at Barrel and Bones. Order online for delivery. Use code Jesuit for $5 off your order at Barrel and Bones. We're just moments from getting started here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. Rangers looking for their first win of the season. Kevin, you talked about keys to the game. You talked about district play. You know, when you look at the playoffs here in UIL 6A, it all is based on district record. Both teams come into this game 0-0.
Absolutely, Chris. Like we said, it's a blank slate tonight for the Rangers, blank slate tonight for the Irving Tigers, who are 1-2 on the season thus far. Now, the only thing that matters is the rest of the season, the district schedule. Jesuit here in District 7-6A, as we've talked about with the schools from Irving. That's Irving High School, Irving Nimitz, Irving MacArthur, and with the schools from Richardson. That's Richardson High School, Richardson Berkner, J.J. Pierce, and Lake Highlands. Jesuit and Lake Highlands look to be favored in the district so far from what we've seen in years past and what we've seen so far this season. So tonight's matchup, an important opportunity for the Rangers to get ahead of the schedule here in district.
Veritex Bank is proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. We share a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn how our shared values make Veritex Bank and Jesuit Dallas a winning team. Visit veritexbank.com, member FDIC. Irving's going to kick the ball off to get us started. Jesuit will be returning. Kevin, you made mention to this before. You and I attempted to do the Hebron game together. That ended up being mostly audio. So this is kind of our first broadcast together.
Absolutely. It's so fun to be out here with you, especially at the start of a game. The weather's good. Tom Walsh and I tried to do the Jesuit New Orleans game the week after, and we were lightninged out for the second half. So to have perhaps a full football game here, no audio technical difficulties under our belt, could be interesting for the Rangers.
Don't jinx us yet with that. Padillo for Irving's going to get this game started. We're going to be underway, and right away, Jesuit's going to make a move on a return, and we may have a return to start this thing off. We do. It's about a 40-yard return for Jesuit. It was Carson Lindley, the team leader in overall yards.
Carson Lindley there, a huge return for the Rangers. He is, so far this season, the leading all-purpose yard for the Rangers with 180 yards over those 3 games, a lot of those coming on returns. Irving tried a little pooch kick there, Chris, and it did not work out to their advantage. Lindley grabbed it, took it all the way down to the Irving 20.
Yeah, the pooch kick might have been the right idea, but getting it into the hands of Carson Lindley, not the right idea. Jesuit's offense takes the field with phenomenal field position at the Irving 21-yard line to get us started. Quarterback Beck Berry with Lucas Mayer to his right. Berry is back in the gun. He's got plenty of time. He's firing it into the end zone. It's a bit overthrown, intended for Cade Kirby. Great field position for Jesuit.
As you mentioned, target was Cade Kirby. He's been a strong receiver so far for the Rangers, senior and captain. Looked like it was a little bit of double coverage that time, zone coverage for the Tigers. Barry trying to air one out early. I think Coach Radigan and Coach Livingston wanted to put some points on the board right away.
Yeah, Barry airing it to the end zone on the first play of the game. He's got Mayer to his right. Barry is also the team leader in rushing yards. Mayer's going to block for Barry. He'll dump it over the middle. There's Carson Lindley again, but he's just back to no more than the line of scrimmage and is brought down.
It's a nice tackle that time, it looked like, by the Irving linebacker. For us, Carson Lindley looking strong so far. It was a short, almost no gain. Rangers now have a 3rd down and 10, Chris.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, back in the gun. Mayer to his right. And they'll hold off and make sure they get the play in from the sidelines. We're just underway here, and we're less than a minute into the game. It was a phenomenal opening kickoff return from Carson Lindley. 1st and 10, Jesuit at the 21-yard line. Barry scrambles right, throwing right. I believe that ball is caught just beyond the sticks. It is caught, and it will be a Jesuit 1st down. Trying to see who made the grab. The tackle came from Walker, and it looks like, was it Max Smith?
Max Smith out there on the right side for the Rangers. A nicely designed play that time. Barry rolling out to his right, had lots of time. Finds Smith for the 1st down on 3rd and 10.
How about Barry scrambling to his right, and not a huge window of opportunity there to hit Smith, but he hit him. On 1st and 10, we'll get our first ground game of the evening here for Jesuit, running it up the middle, picking up about 4 yards for Smith.
Yeah, an interesting formation that time for the Rangers. Mayer was just behind Barry, who was up under center. As you mentioned, they gave it to Smith, who's typically a wide receiver, but a 3 or 4 yard gain that time. And let's see what the Rangers do now as they near the end zone and get into this goal line formation.
2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. We're scoreless 1 minute into the game here in Irving. Barry now with an option to his right. He'll dish it out. It's going to be Mayer. He's fighting for that last yard. It looks like he's forced out of bounds at about the 1 yard line. Option play. It looked like Barry might have got a yard or two and then tossed it to Mayer.
He did exactly what he's supposed to do that time, attacked the end on the right-hand side. Barry pitches. Mayer almost gets all the way down. He's stopped out there by the cornerback. That's number 11, Kamari Dove. Now it's a 1 yard 3rd down here. The Rangers trying to get in the end zone.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 1. Barry's going to hand this ball off. A huge pile in the middle. I don't think he got it. I think he's a yard short. We're going to have 4th and goal coming.
Yeah, referee comes in. Looked like he had a good eye on that one from the sideline. That ball is inside the 1 yard line, Chris. Let's see what the Ranger offense decides to do here on 4th and very short.
4th down, goal to go, a yard from the goal line. That was Max Smith, I believe, on that carry. Lucas Mayer is also out there. Beck's going to put the play in. He's got Smith to his right.
Offense staying on the field.
We got an interesting formation here. Let's see what we do. Barry's in the gun. Mayer to his left, hands it to Smith. Up the middle, he got it. Max Smith in the end zone. We're 2 minutes into the game, and Jesuit has a 7-0 lead.
It's Big Ben Bumgardner, number 71 that time for the Rangers. Lead blocks all the way in. Mayer was on the left side as well, creating just enough space for Max Smith to put it in the end zone.
Jesuit up 6-0, and now an opportunity to get the extra point as Cooper Magoo heads out and puts the PAT in the air here in just a moment. We're just about 3 minutes into the game as Magoo's PAT is good with room to spare. Jesuit up 7-0. It wasn't the longest drive. It was just 21 yards. It was all set up by a fantastic return from Corson Lindley, and Jesuit strikes first tonight.
That's right, Chris. From our stats tonight, no Chris Martinez with us this evening, but we'll have a gang of statisticians behind us. That drive, 7 plays, 21 yards, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, capped off by the Max Smith 1 yard, maybe even less than 1 yard run for the touchdown. I want to thank our scoring sponsor, that's Vanguard Auto Group. This scoring summary is sponsored by Vanguard Auto Group, which is proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics. With GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas, we're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers.
The stat I want to hear, Kevin, is when was the last time Jesuit played a football game that Chris Martinez was not keeping stats?
We'll have to get that via text message later this evening. Sorry that Chris couldn't be with us tonight, but a great crew with us up in the broadcast booth here in Irving, and a beautiful night for football on a Thursday evening here in Irving, Texas.
Carson Long, Jesuit senior, to our left. He's tweeting at Radio Jesuit. He's also spotting for defense. We got a team of Rangers behind us helping us out. Of course, Brian Henry, sports information director, helping us as well. Magoo kicks it off. Irving's return gets to about the 26 or 27 yard line. It was Simon McGoldrick making the tackle for the Rangers. And you talked before the game started, one of Coach Hickman's keys was to stop the Irving run. We'll see if we can do it here.
Absolutely, Chris. So far for the Tigers, Fred Green, 28 rushes on the season for 185 yards, and Henry Duenas, 30 rushes for 124 yards. So that is the dual running back threat that we're looking for from the Tigers this evening.
Irving's offense takes the field. It's a run-heavy offense. Quarterback Elijah Garcia is going to toss this ball off to his right, but a couple of Rangers are there quick for a tackle at the line of scrimmage. It looks like Cole Johnson was in on that tackle for Jesuit on a toss to the right, and boy, they got there quick.
Love to see the outside pursuit that time by Johnson, who comes from the left end position, does exactly what he's supposed to do, containing the run. No gain that time for the Tigers.
Garcia's going to go under center. It looks like he's got Henry Duenas behind him. He will hand the ball to Duenas, and once again, he's only going to get a yard or two. The ball's on the ground. The Rangers think they have it. We'll see. It looks like the officials are going to say that Irving fell on it. It'll be third down coming. They forced a fumble. Tigers fell back on top of it.
So far this season, Chris, Irving already with a -5 turnover margin in their first 3 games, 6 fumbles. So maybe that's something we're going to see throughout the evening. They're fortunate that time that the Ranger defense doesn't jump on it. But looks like third and long here now for the Irving Tigers.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 11. We're 4 minutes into the game tonight. Jesuit has a 7-0 lead. The quarterback, Garcia, back. This time he's going to throw, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. It looked like that was the Rangers' Cole Wambacher got his hand up, knocked it down, and they'll force the Irving punt.
Wambacher that time does a great job, gets stood up at the line of scrimmage, does exactly what you're supposed to do, throws his hands up in the air. Garcia, not a tall quarterback there from that position, so it gets batted down. 4th down, a great 3-and-out here forced by the Ranger defense.
Irving punter Jose Garcia heads out to the field. And Jesuit's offense is going to take this ball back over. Corson Lindley back for the return. Lindley returned the opening kickoff tonight all the way to the 21-yard line. This time he's going to get his hands on the ball at about the 45, but he's brought down pretty quickly. Lindley's a big, tall kid, hard to bring down, and it helps that he's also quite fast.
A little bit of a dangerous kick that time for the Rangers. Somebody might have gotten their hand on it on the punt block. There were 2 Rangers in the area when the ball bounced. Lindley does a great job to go attack that ball and grab it to make sure that it doesn't bounce off one of our players and then become a live ball for the Tigers.
Our first quarter sponsor tonight's UT Southwestern Simmons Cancer Center, your home team for cancer care. Locations all around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's the UT Southwestern Simmons Cancer Center, our first quarter sponsor this evening. Barry's in the shotgun as he often is. Play action to Smith. He's going to go long. That ball's going to be caught, and they're going to be in the end zone. One play, 56 yards. Rangers on the board again.
That time it does work. The first play go long. We tried it from the 20. Coach Radigan and Coach Livingston say, well, what about from our side of the 50? Kirby just too fast that time for the Irving defense, and the Rangers up big early with 7:30 left to go here in the first quarter.
Kevin, not only did the play action work to perfection, but I'm not sure Cade Kirby broke stride at all. I think Beck Berry hit him perfectly in stride. Kirby could go full speed right into the end zone. Rangers strike quickly.
Kick from Magoo up and good, and the Rangers up 14-0 now. You're exactly right, Chris. Maybe, 4th game of the season now, first game in district. Some of those relationships we talked about, Beck Berry new to the starting quarterback position, Cade Kirby playing more snaps, those types of things are starting to gel a little bit better here as you get into that 4th game of the season compared to games 1, 2, and 3.
And what I'm about to say are the types of things, football players, half our listeners are going to laugh at me for even saying it, but every receiver has a different speed, right? And they're all running at different angles. So part of learning your team, part of learning your teammates is figuring out, okay, this guy's lined up here. He's got this kind of speed. Got another guy to my right who's got this other kind of speed. Calculus happening in your head, not to mention executing the throw to perfection.
And those things just start to become more natural throughout the season, right? You don't have to calculate as much. You know where your guy's going to be. Barry knew exactly where Kirby was going to be. They've built that relationship in practice week over week, day over day now for the last couple of months. And if you're the Rangers, you're really excited to see this kind of score, especially from the offensive side of the ball this early in the game, Chris.
Chris Martinez is listening in Dallas. James Kramer is listening in Dallas. Brian Montgomery is listening from I don't even know where. I don't know where up in the Northeast. But it's good to hear from him. Shoot us a note on Twitter. We're at Radio Jesuit. Jesuit Senior Carson Long running the Twitter account tonight. Let us know you're listening. We'd be happy to say hello to you and to your family members as you listen and support Jesuit Ranger football tonight. I believe our score bug is still down, so we'll keep you posted on the score all night. Jesuit 14, Irving 0, 5 minutes into this contest.
We're told Brian Montgomery listening in from Syracuse, New York, Chris, up there. And we're also told that play from Beck to Kirby is our longest play of the season for the Rangers.
One play, 56 yards, scoring strike for Jesuit. Irving's offense back on the field. They'll pick up 3 or 4 on first down as Irving's got that running attack, and that one, I believe, was Garcia, or rather Garcia was handing the ball to one of his running backs. There we go, Henry Duenas.
Short gain that time for the Tigers. Let's see what the Ranger defense continues to do here. Got a lot of speed on the outside. We know this is going to be a run-heavy offense from the Tigers, so maybe they continue to stack the box here early on in the first quarter.
Irving's going to take this one under center and hand the ball off, move to their right. It's a good-looking play there for Irving as he handed the ball to Fred Green. Green picked up about 5 more. It'll be 3rd and short.
It's Wambacher that time on the left side for the tackle for the Rangers. 3rd and short coming up for the Tigers. Wambacher leads the team in tackles for Jesuit. Let's see what the coaches decide to do this time. Are we going to bring pressure on 3rd and short?
3rd down, 1 yard to go for the Irving Tigers on their own 29-yard line. Under center, hands the ball off. They'll get the first down, but not a whole lot more than that as a few gold helmets converge. That was Duenas who picked up the 2 he needed.
Cabe Weissmuller came down that time as the safety and ultimately brings down Duenas, the ball carrier. Steady diet so far of what I think we predicted from Irving, Chris. Lots of runs, short gains. I mean, that was 3 short runs to get the first down that time. The Rangers are going to have to be able to get some penetration into that offensive line in order to stop this.
Yeah, it's no surprise. Coach Hickman watches film religiously, knew exactly what to expect from this Tiger offense that came into the game 1 and 2. It's a run-heavy offense, and they picked up their first down this time. They'll do a little bit of a tush-push, it looks like, there, and gain 3 or 4 yards as that time the quarterback held on to it, and Garcia picked up a few.
Most high school teams you see these days, Chris, a lot of snaps in the shotgun. So far from Irving, we've seen Garcia mostly up under center. We'll see if that continues for the rest of the evening. But as you mentioned, that time a little bit of an unexpected quarterback sneak on first down. It works out for the Tigers for a short gain. Rangers now maybe have to dial up a little bit of some pressure in order to fill those gaps. They're running mostly up the middle right now.
That's a play you see on 3rd and 1, not 1st and 10.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, might be why it worked.
Unexpected.
That may be exactly why it worked, and now we'll have, I believe, our first time out of the game. It'll be to the Irving Tigers. Want to say hello once again to our first quarter sponsor, the UT Southwestern Simmons Cancer Center, your home team for cancer care. It's the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in North Texas. It's the gold standard for cancer centers, so we want to thank them for being a part of the Jesuit community and for sponsoring these broadcasts. And once again, a hello to our title sponsor, Veritex Bank, proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Rangers, sharing a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Visit www.veritexbank.com, member FDIC.
Nice moment to pause and catch our breath here, Chris. 4:47 left in the first quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, your Jesuit Rangers up 14-0 here on the Irving Tigers. And that's been a consistent thing for us in the last, 65 years. Jesuit is 8-1 all-time against Irving, 3-0 on the road, and we're back to the action here as Irving has a short pass to the right flat. Short gain that time by number 18, that's Caden James. Short gain that time for the Tigers.
Kevin, you know what I really miss is TV timeouts. There are no TV timeouts in high school football, and I am losing it. This is happening fast. Jesuits got a 14-0 lead, 4:43 on the clock here in the first quarter. We understand the score bug is not up and running, so we will keep you posted. Irving's back under center on 3rd down and 3, and this time they're going to do another one of those handoffs to the left, and looks like Jesuit's going to get to him behind the line and bring him down for a loss. 4th down coming.
Trying to see who comes up out of the pile. I think it was number 16 for the Rangers that time. That's Ben Phillips. Darted out to the right side, got his hand on the runner, held up his leg, and the rest of the Ranger defense comes in to make the tackle. That was a first down saving play that time, Chris.
No doubt about it. That's easily a first down and then some without that tackle being made. Now you've got a 4th and 4 situation in your own territory, and if you're the Irving Tigers, you just have to punt it away. Unfortunately for Irving, the punt's going to go to Corson Lindley. He opened the game with a 50 or 60-yard return to put Jesuit in great field position. This one's going to get blocked. It's never even going to get to Lindley. Jesuit got to it first. It's knocked away. It's going to be a scoop and a score. A blocked punt, scoop, and score. I believe it all came from Jackson Gare, and Jesuit extends the lead.
Almost mentioned something right before the punt that time, Chris. It really looked like the Rangers were down in stances trying to get to that ball. They almost got there. That first punt, I think they knew that time that they were going to be able to make it and block that punt. As you mentioned, I think the whole time that was Gare who gets the block, Gare with the scoop, and Gare who ends up in the end zone for the Rangers.
I think he did all three. Really impressive feat for Gare. Knocked the ball away, chased it down, picked it up, and barreled his way into the end zone. And all of a sudden, Jesuit has really created some distance here in the first quarter as Cooper Magoo will put the PAT through the uprights. Jesuit's lead is 21-0. We are still in the first quarter with 3:45 on the clock.
Well, your scoring summary is easy that time. Let's say the punt blocked by number 21, Jackson Gare. He scoops it up inside the Irving 20, returns it all the way for the touchdown, and that scoring summary is presented by Vanguard Auto Group. Vanguard Auto Group is proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics. With GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas, we're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers. We might be hearing from Vanguard Auto Group a lot tonight, Chris.
Kevin, does it count as a scoring drive if we didn't snap the ball?
Good point.
I don't know if that's a
good point.
Yeah, total scoring drives for Jesuit. First scoring drive, Brian tells us, was 7 plays, then a 1-play scoring drive, and then a 0-play scoring drive for Jesuit, up 21-0, 3:45 to play. Here's a couple of fun shout-outs. My wife, Mary Catherine Ackles, is listening in Dallas, and she is listening with my 100-year-old grandmother. Hi, Meemaw. Meemaw's listening in from Dallas. Please say hello to us if you get a chance on Twitter. Good to know they're listening back home and listening to Jesuit with a 21-0 lead here in the first quarter.
That's Tyvion Gonzalez that time for the Irving Tigers on the return. A short return. He's tackled at the 18 by number 5, Andres Van for the Rangers. And it'll be good field position again for this Ranger defense, who I'm sure are hungry for more after the punt block and score on the last drive. Chris, it's a good start for the Rangers. I think we knew they needed this confidence boost. 3 games in, only scored 2 offensive touchdowns. This is a great way for the Rangers to start, especially to build some confidence at the beginning of the district slate.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The thing about Jesuit football, there's a pretty consistent scheduling routine as Irving's going to hand this ball off and pick up 5 or 6, where you've got 3 non-conference games, then a bye week for community days, and then you get into conference play. It's been this way for more than a decade. It was that way when we were in school. And I love what Coach Hickman has done, which he's gone out and scheduled 3 really tough non-conference games. He does it every year. Every year, it seems like you start with a sub-500 record, but then you show up and you see a game like tonight, and you understand why he does it.
You mentioned it at the beginning of the game. In the last 10 years, only 2 times has Jesuit gone for more than or had over 500 record in their non-district schedule. That's 2015 and 2021, both of those 2-1. So as a first down there that time for the Tigers, I think Jesuit is used to this at this point. The coaches know how to coach the guys through this. They know that now really the season begins, and district is what matters as you look towards the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, and it certainly appears this team is coming out all cylinders firing. This ball's going to be fumbled again. I think Jesuit has it this time. Last time Irving recovered their own fumble. This time Jesuit's got it. It's Joe Norman. Norman was coming in, looked like he almost had an opportunity as a sack, and all of a sudden the football shows up at his feet.
A little bit of confusion maybe that time in the Irving backfield. Not sure if the ball carrier and the quarterback were in sync. As soon as the ball gets handed off, it's dropped. but Joe Norman was there to dive on it for the Rangers. We talked about the turnovers earlier already, Chris. That's one now for the Tigers as they drop the fumble. The Rangers again with good field position to start off. We're 2:30 left in the first quarter, and they're ready to score again.
Yeah, Jesuits' first drive of the game started at the Irving 21-yard line. This one's going to start at the Irving 29-yard line, and Max Smith is going to carry the pile with him for an additional, 6 to 8 yards. He picks up 8 yards, and all of a sudden it's 2nd and 2, and the Rangers are nearing the red zone again.
Want to shout out offensive lineman number 55, Thomas Andrews, that time pushing the pile from the back. He ended up, I think, 3 or 4 yards farther than the ball carrier did, but it gets Jesuit an extra 5-6 yards after the ball carrier was stopped early.
2nd and 2 from the 21-yard line. Jesuit trying to add to an already 21-0 lead. We're in the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Beck Berry, play action, going to his right. He's got a man to get around, and his pass goes a little bit behind Lucas Mayer. He was on the run from the word go.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a rush that time from Berry rolling out to his right again, similar to that first drive when we got the first down completion. Just threw it a little bit behind Mayer. Was fortunate that no Tigers were there to scoop that one up. And now let's see what the Rangers decide to do on 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short at the 21-yard line. We'll see what Jesuits offense does here. Lucas Mayer lining up to the left of quarterback Beck Berry, who's in the gun. Claps, gets the ball, moving to his left and dancing a little bit. Beck Berry's going to dance his way to a first down and a few more as he'll gain about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, I really like that play call that time from the Jesuit offensive coaches. 3 wide receivers out right, Chris, and Beck Berry does a design quarterback run to the left. I think it caught the Tigers off guard a little bit. As you mentioned, Berry very patient that time on the run, waits for his blockers. Plenty of distance then for the first down, and now a fresh set of downs for the Rangers inside the 20.
This time Berry looks like he's got Mayer to his right, Smith to his left. He'll hand the ball to Smith. Mayer will block for him, and Smith will pick up a couple of yards. Oh, he's still on his feet, and he'll march into the end zone. Max Smith just will not be denied. He brings it into the end zone for the second time here in the first quarter, and Jesuit has a 4-score lead.
Max Smith showing he can do it all, Chris. I mean, that first one was a less than 1 yard power punch score on the opening touchdown of the game. That time shows the strength to get hit on the run, goes out wide to the right, continues his run, and is in for the score. So doing it with both power and speed.
Kevin, as you were saying that, Zach had the replay run in there. We just need a telestrator, and you and I are all set. That was fantastic. But you're right. I mean, I thought he was down. He just stayed up on his feet, made his way around the corner. The PAT's good from Cooper Magoo. The clock says 1:05 in the first quarter, and Jesuit has a 28-0 lead.
Exciting start here, as we've mentioned already, for the Rangers, up 28-0. Max Smith, 2 touchdowns. Max Smith so far this season haven't called his name as much. Junior wide receiver getting a lot of time at running back. I wish Chris Martinez were here. I'm going to look up our statistics and see Max Smith. I'm not sure he has any rushing attempts so far this season.
I just had the same thought, Kevin. Like, man, Chris would have need multiple pens to not run out of ink tonight. He'd have been busy with the Jesuit offense. Kevin, you mentioned earlier it's a beautiful night out here. Of course, weather's cooled down in the last couple of days, so it finally is starting to feel like fall. Maybe not a raucous crowd necessarily here in Irving, but well attended. We have Jesuits band and cheer team are here. Same thing for Irving. And Jesuits got a 28-0 lead here late in the first quarter.
You're right, Chris. Not that raucous of a crowd on either side. I'm told it's Irving's homecoming tonight, so we had some festivities before the game. Both bands played a little bit, and some drill teams were out on the field. So Thursday night football here in Texas as Cooper Magoo kicks that one into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. I am looking here at the stats now, Chris. Max Smith before this game had 2 rushing attempts, for 4 yards. 2 rushing attempts for 4 yards so far tonight. He's got 2 touchdowns. We'll get his official yardage and attempts tonight, but he's turning himself into a running back here all of a sudden.
Yeah, just in 1 quarter of one game. I've done the research myself, is what you should have said. and he's got the stats. Kevin doing a great job. Of course, Chris Martinez has been with this broadcast for 28 years. You know, Kevin, one of the things you and I wanted to talk about at the Hebron game and didn't have time to, but we will have time later in this game, is the legacy of this broadcast, what this broadcast has meant to you and to me over the past 30 years. So we'll get to that here in the second quarter, and we're excited to share the background of how we got here and how this broadcast got here, because it predates every player on the field right now.
You're right, Chris, and I think especially even as you think nowadays, so many high schools have broadcasts, video, on the internet stream. This really was something I think that was a little bit ahead of its time when it started in 1998 with Tom Walsh, my dad, Jack Fitzsimmons, Chris Martinez, doing this over the radio. So it'll be fun to catch up a little bit more and tell stories from the very beginning days.
Yeah,
of
now
that.
we've got video and we've got replays now, which is we never thought we'd have. That may be a replay-worthy play there as Irving hands the ball off to Fred Green, and he marches his way forward for 10 or 15 yards, the best offensive play of the night so far for the Tigers right at the end of the first quarter. The final few seconds are going to tick away. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with you after one quarter from Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. Jesuit 28, Irving 0, here on Jesuit Football Night on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network.
Welcome back to Jesuit Ranger football here at the start of the second quarter. Want to give a quick shout out to the Urbaniak family listening all the way from South Bend, my former home, and a great place for Chris Ackles as well. Megan, Mike, Jude, Felicity, and Luke Urbaniak listening all the way in South Bend. Thank you so much. We love to have Jesuit Ranger supporters from near and far, Chris.
Yeah, all across the country. Shout us out on Twitter at Radio Jesuit. Jesuit senior Carson Long manning the Twitter. Hopefully he'll have a few shout outs for us momentarily. We're just beginning the second quarter here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving. Jesuits got a 28-0 lead, a really impressive first quarter, not only for the Jesuit offense, but for the Jesuit special teams. A phenomenal kickoff return to begin the game from Corson Lindley. We had a blocked punt, scoop, and score from the Rangers' Jackson Gare, and then we've had a couple of offensive touchdowns from the Rangers' Max Smith. So really impressive first quarter for the Jesuit offense, and now we'll see if the defense can keep it up as well as Irving is trying to get themselves on the board.
We spent a lot of time looking at this left side, our left side of the field, Chris. Ball's now in the middle of the field for the Tigers. Short run that time. Looked like it was running back number 12, Fred Green. It's 3rd and 5 now for the Tigers.
Ball's going to get tossed off to the right. Irving's going to pick up another first down on a really effective run play. This Irving run offense can work and does work. That time it was Napoleon Proctor, and he picked up 7 or 8 yards as the Tigers are in Jesuit territory for the first time tonight.
Looked like more of a triple option that time, Chris. Garcia fakes the handoff to the fullback and then runs out right for the option. As you mentioned, Proctor was wide open out there and makes a good gain. First time for the Tigers so far. They look like they're driving a little bit.
Yeah, 1st and 10 Irving from the Jesuit 45-yard line. There's a handoff. Jesuit's going to get to it real quickly. You have that tackle there, Kevin. It looks like it was Parker Sherman. He got there behind the line.
And that's exactly what we've been talking about, Chris. Sherman gets in back behind the line. This Jesuit defense has a number of tackles for loss already this year. And that's the first one that I've seen tonight as Sherman gets back there. Look at him as he runs off the field, Chris. I'm not sure if it was caught on our cameras, but he and Coach Brandon Hickman do a little chest bump as he runs off the field that time after the tackle for a loss.
Well deserved. Jesuits got a 28-0 lead. We get word that there's another District 7-6A game happening tonight. Lake Highlands taking on J.J. Pierce, and Lake Highlands has a 21-0 lead at the end of the first quarter in that game. Tigers Tigers toss it out to the right. They're going to get another first down. It was an effective pitch and catch. It was Jason Evans on the reception from Elijah Garcia. First down, Tigers.
Cave Weissmuller that time all the way out to that far sideline to make the tackle. Zero really had some speed. Jason Evans for the Tigers. I'm not sure that he wouldn't have gotten in the end zone if Weissmuller doesn't get there, Chris.
This Irving team has an offense. The offense can score points. We're going to see another one of these tush pushes, and this thing's going to go for, 8 or 10 yards. We talked about seeing that play on first down, how rare that is, but that Irving offensive line just pushed forward for a first down.
Again, catching the Ranger defense off guard. As you mentioned, Chris, after a big gain, all of a sudden Garcia's up under center, and before you know it, it's a first down. Looks like the Rangers are going to call timeout here and take a break as the Tigers on the Jesuit 22 knocking on the door.
Yeah, Jesuit's success in the first quarter came largely from their offense, but also from special teams. And now we're seeing Irving really punch back, or growl back, I guess you could say, for the Tigers, down 28-0. We'll say a quick hello to our second quarter partner, which is Veritex Bank, proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Rangers, sharing a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn more about Veritex Bank and this winning team at veritexbank.com, member FDIC.
Well, we talked about it, Chris. It's going to be a run-heavy diet from the Irving Tiger offense, and it has been. This drive, though, mixing it up a little bit, not just running it right down the gut, but getting some runs to the outside, doing the quarterback sneak. And now Garcia back to pass.
Garcia in the gun, and he finds wide open Kamari Dove. Garcia hits Dove. It was blown coverage somewhere. There is a flag on the play, which may explain how he got wide open, Kevin.
Yeah, let's see what the referee says here. Looks like that's illegal. Man downfield.
Yeah, an eligible receiver downfield called against the Tigers, which explains why the Jesuit defense looked so confused on that play.
Right away, the Tigers thought they had a big touchdown. As I was mentioning, run steady diet from the Tigers. They drop back to pass, and their longest gain of the night. Rangers fortunate at that time that it is a penalty that denies the touchdown, and now it's first and long for the Tigers.
Yeah, at about the 27-yard line. This time Garcia's under center. He'll hand the ball off. They'll pick up a few yards there. That looked like Fred Green again. Green picks up 3 or 4, second and 11 coming.
Yeah, Simon McGoldrick among the 3 Rangers who were in on the tackle that time. They're doing a lot of this stuff, Chris, the Tigers are, where they just hand it off to a fullback type position, either Green or Duenas, and get short gains. I think the Rangers will live with that.
Elijah Garcia looks like he's going to go under center again if he can get his offense set. He does. He'll snap and fake a handoff, and the Rangers are in the backfield immediately. Tanner Krug, he looked like he got to the spot before the running back did.
Penetration through the offensive line is going to be key all night for these Rangers if you want to stop the run. And that time Krug was through quick. I'm not sure that the running back knew that he was going to be there that quick. And as soon as he got the ball, he was met. It's third and long now for the Tigers. I'm not sure what they're going to do here in this long yardage situation.
Yeah, Krug showed up quick. He's a captain of this Jesuit Ranger team. He's a multi-sport athlete. Coach Hickman talked about how athletic he is. Garcia's in the gun. Krug got through again. This time it's picked off. The Rangers take it. It's Gabriel James, and he's got green grass in front of him. James to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Rangers. A special teams touchdown, an offensive touchdown, and now a defensive touchdown. We'll see if it stands, as there is yellow laundry on the turf.
Wow, it was a great play that time as we watched the replay here, Chris. Garcia drops back to pass, looks to his left with pressure on him. It's Gabriel James with the pick. Oh, maybe right away there did they catch Jesuit number 40, Simon McGoldrick, who was just going to tackle the receiver, ends up tackling what may be the would-be tackler when Gabriel James picks the ball off. He thought that he was tackling the guy who was trying to catch it.
How about that replay? Zach's doing a great job over there. Our camera folks from Tradio doing a marvelous job getting the replay. And now they've got a close-up on the referees making this decision. Now we just need a lip reader. And it looks like the score bug's working out as well for us, too. As you can see, Jesuit's got a lead. And we will take a listen here and see what the White Hat has for us.
Flag is all the way back at what would be the Jesuit 30 now as we wait for the signal from the head referee. They have brought the football all the way back here.
The White Hat makes the call that after the interception, there's a holding penalty against Jesuit. So the interception there for the Rangers is going to stay.
And here it is again, Chris, right there when McGoldrick thinks he's making a tackle on an Irving receiver. He ends up tackling while James has picked off the ball. It's an unlucky break for the Rangers. James did amazing to take that ball all the way to the house. And now it will be the Rangers in their worst offensive field position so far on their own 19. Unfortunate that time for the Ranger defense.
Yeah, but great to see the Gabriel James pick stand. It does, so he'll get credit for that. The Jesuit defense, I know, will be excited to hear that as the Ranger offense will head back on the field. I think, Kevin, we may have a backup quarterback, a new quarterback, I should say, for this Jesuit offense, as it's going to be J.P. Livingston. He's going to hit the air right away, looking for Kirby. It's going to get batted away. Livingston wastes no time establishing his presence tonight.
Nice coverage that time by the Tigers. Number 11, Kamari Dove, back in the coverage for the Tigers. As you mentioned, Chris, Livingston gets in the game, and we've seen him do this a couple times so far this year. As soon as he gets in the game, he's happy to air it out. Coach and JP both must have confidence in that arm.
Kevin, the word legend or Jesuit legend thrown around a lot. How about Rick Martin? Trainer Rick Martin. He's been around for a long time, helped literally thousands of Jesuit athletes across various sports, across various decades, of course, with this team tonight. And we have a hello for him. But first, Cade Kirby's going to pick up a first down. That pass could have been about a 3-yard gain. Kirby turned it into a 15-yard gain. We do have another flag on the play.
It's that screenplay that we know Jesuit loves to run on the right side. Kirby catches it, lots of yards after the catch. And then it looks like it's going to be a personal foul face mask call by the referee added on to the top here, so it turns into a big gain for the Rangers.
Yeah, Kirby's a little squirrely, a little zippy there after he catches the ball and picks up more than a first down for Jesuit, and the penalty is going to put the Rangers in Tiger territory.
Kudos once again to the Jesuit offensive line getting out that time. I saw it was Captain 72, Luke Cutler, making one of the blocks that sprung Kirby for the big gain.
We mentioned Rick Martin, his son Andrew Martin watching. Looks like Jane Martin also watching, saying hello to us on Twitter. Thanks for saying hi. We're at Radio Jesuit. Rangers going to hand this ball off, and it's going to be Judson Harris who will run to his left to pick up a few yards.
Another new face that we're seeing here, Chris, at running back. Judson Harris so far this season, 3 attempts for no rushing yards. So, in fact, for -3 rushing yards. So it would be great to see some young, unfamiliar faces for the Rangers getting in and getting some success on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, quarterback J.P. Livingston with a man to his left and a man to his right. He hands this ball off. Is it Harris again? No,
that was Mayer.
Mayer will pick up a few more yards for Jesuit. It was Mayer.
Up early, 28-0 for the Rangers. Might continue to see this heavy run-style offense, and again, continuing to get some new faces in the game. 15, J.P. Livingston now looks over to the sideline as the Rangers get the play call in. It's a 3rd and about 4.
Midway through the second quarter here at Ellis Stadium in Irving, Jesuits got a 28-0 lead. Livingston is back, little pump fake, dropping one into the corner. Beautifully done. Is that Cade Kirby? I believe it is. He steps out of bounds, but not before about a 20 or 30-yard reception from Livingston to Kirby.
A little bit of a stop-and-go route that time on the far sideline from Cade Kirby, Chris. He was wide open. A little bit of a lofty ball from Livingston. We'll see him catch it. Gets at least 1 foot in bounds, says the referee, and makes the catch. Looks like that was about a 30-yard gain down inside the Tigers' 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Livingston going to hand the ball off to the Rangers' Judson Harris. Harris will pick up a few. And the clock will continue to tick late in the second quarter as Jesuits got a 4-score lead.
Harris did well that time, Chris. Probably should have been dropped in the backfield, churns his legs, get through one tackle, and picks up at least a couple so that it's not a negative play for the Rangers. And clearly, as we can see, as the clock winds down inside 5 minutes, Chris, the Rangers are going to take their time on offense moving forward here for the rest of this game, I think.
Kevin, I'm looking forward to the halftime show, which, of course, is presented by Wright Legal. Athletic Director Kyle Harima will join us at halftime. Another one of those, we talked to him briefly at the Hebron game, but we'll have a chance to really chat with him as Irving calls the timeout here. To really chat with him at halftime, he's done a marvelous job in his time as Athletic Director, and we'll get a chance to visit with him at the half.
Yeah, looking forward to catching up with Kyle. As you mentioned, we tried to catch up with him at the Hebron game that first week of the season, and not sure how many folks heard him or our conversation. So it's important for us to make sure that we get him on just his second year as athletic director here for the Rangers after a long time tenure of Steve Cook.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm sure we'll talk about Steve a little more as we go back on the history of this broadcast. What's going to be weird at halftime is no statistician update from Chris Martinez. I'm going to razz him as much as I possibly can.
I think we got some great guys taking statistics behind us. Brian Henry and several Jesuit students will get their names to you live on the air here soon. But it is going to be a little bit of a different feel without that second half update on the first half stats from Chris.
And don't worry, he's still texting me about the Cowboys secondary in the middle of this game. So he's still throwing in the self-deprecating Cowboys jokes even from afar. So he's still very much engaged. Second down, 7 to go from the 11-yard line here for Jesuit, trying to add to their lead. Livingston looking into the corner. Beautifully thrown ball to Cade Kirby. Those two have been on the same wavelength this second quarter. Touchdown, Jesuit. Livingston to Kirby for 11 yards, and the Rangers strike again.
Wow, what a great pass that time from J.P. Livingston. Let's see as the replay comes through here, Chris. He just lofts it up. You can't see it in your screen, but Cade Kirby does not even look like he's in the vicinity.
No.
Gets to that ball. Great touchdown throw and catch. As you mentioned, that's relationship that time from quarterback to receiver.
That was a great replay, and you could tell there were two defenders there. And when he threw that ball, Kevin, I wasn't quite sure where he was throwing it. And Kirby showed up behind one of the defenders, made a catch, touchdown Jesuit.
That's timing. That's relationship. Again, these guys work on these things in practice. The kick is up and good from Magoo. As we wait for our scoring drive, why don't you tell us about the second quarter
Nobody's
sponsor,
having a better night than Vanguard Auto Group. Our scoring drive summary, I'll let you handle that in just a moment. Our second quarter sponsor is Veritex Bank. They're proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Rangers, sharing a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. You can learn about the shared values and what makes Veritex Bank a winning team at veritexbank.com, member FDIC. Before Jesuit kicks off again, I wonder if we have a scoring drive.
Yep, looks like it was 7 plays that time for the Rangers, spanned across 2 minutes and 40 seconds, 81-yard drive that time after the penalty from the pick six, the would-have-been pick six from Gabriel James, and it's capped off by a 10-yard catch from Livingston to Kirby, and that Vanguard scoring updates brought to you by our scoring sponsor, Vanguard Auto Group. Proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics with GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers.
Yeah, nice tackle there on the kick by Cole Wambacher. Kevin, how did Tom and Jack ever take commercial breaks? I don't understand. This game moves so fast.
The high school football game is so quick. We're looking at my watch at 7:50 here in Irving, and we're almost through 2 quarters of play. 35-0 Jesuit with 4:29 left here in the second quarter. And we haven't stopped talking all night.
No, we haven't. Carson Long tells us that was J.P. Livingston's first touchdown of the season, which I believe would also make it his first touchdown of his varsity career for Jesuit. And so a great moment there for J.P. Livingston as he gets on the board for Jesuit and extends the lead to 35-0.
Yeah, Chris, and as we see now here, Irving gets started again. They're going to stay committed to this heavy run-style offense. I mentioned before the game started, so far in their first 3 games, 25% pass, 75% run. It's Fred Green that time on the short run, and looks like as we get to the second snap of the drive, there's going to be some flags.
So, Sports Information Director Brian Henry puts together a really cool game notes packet that I believe is available to anyone on the Jesuit website. And he tells us a little bit about the series history. That's how Kevin and I knew the series history between these two teams. In the history of this series, which dates all the way back to 1960, Jesuit has scored 37 points in a half. That happened a couple of years ago in 2020. Right now, the Rangers are sitting at 35. We'll see if the defense can get the ball back. Irving with another handoff run up the middle, gain about 4 or 5 yards, and is brought down. It'll be 3rd and long coming. My favorite piece of this series history between Jesuit and Irving, Kevin. These two teams first met in 1960. Jesuit lost the game. Irving won 6-0. And the location says neutral site unknown. So we don't even know where you think it was. What was it, North Haven Park? What do you think?
The record books don't say. Who knows? It could have been in somebody's backyard for all we know in 1960. Irving gets the win. And as you mentioned, Chris, they have not won against the Rangers since. It's 3rd and 9, it looks like now, for the Tigers, as on second down they made up after the penalty.
3rd and 9, they're going to throw the ball, and it's going to be just a little bit high. The Rangers are going to force another punt, which we'll have to pay attention to because they've already blocked one tonight. 1960, Kevin, so that predates both your dad and my dad. My dad, class of 69. Your dad's 76. So if you went back to those guys playing in that game in 1960, so that was the first year of the Dallas Cowboys, first year of the Dallas Texans, and you told them that now we'd be announcing this game, there'd be a jumbotron at the game. The game would be broadcast live on YouTube. I think Jesuit got a piece of this punt again here. We have one block already tonight. This was what I'm going to call a partial block, and Jesuit's going to take over at the 25-yard line, but boy, we've come a long way.
That's exactly right, Chris. As you look at that play there, I think that was Garcia who tried to punt it away, so maybe a little bit of a quick kick trying to catch the Rangers punt block off guard. They still get to it, and it'll be good field position again for the Rangers. But going back to what you mentioned, Chris, you talk about Jumbotron and videos. I'm not sure if they would have believed if we would have said we had pads and cleats and all the things that come with the accessories of the game now. So to get all the way to the technology side, they certainly might not have believed what we were saying then.
Exactly
Want to give a quick shout out to our student statisticians, and we'll hear more from these guys in the second half. That's Sebastian Dunn, Mercury Cox, and Gianni Gutierrez up there for us as the Rangers start this drive.
Sebastian Mercury and Gianni doing a great job. Blake Berry back in the game for Jesuit. He lobs it over to his good friend Luke Mayer. He gets by a couple of defenders, picks up about 15 yards. Jesuit within striking distance again, looking to add to this already 5-score lead.
Really like the patience that time from Berry. Looks towards the middle of the field and just finds Lucas Mayer out in the flat. Mayer with lots of space and makes one guy miss, gets all the way down to the Tigers' 10. This Rangers offense is really looking in sync tonight, Chris.
No doubt about it, and you can tell, regardless of what the competition looks like, these guys are clearly in sync. He's got Mayer to his right and Smith to his left. He'll hand the ball to Mayer. Mayer's going to cut back. Gets only to about the line of scrimmage and is swarmed by black jerseys.
I think it was number 18, Caton James, that time in on the tackle for the Tigers. Short gain to maybe even a 1-yard loss that time for the Rangers, and it looks like we'll go to a timeout here for the 2 minutes.
Is this a 2-minute warning? Is that a thing in high school? Look at that. You learn something new every day. Texas high school football has adopted a 2-minute warning. Jesuit has a 35-0 lead. Coming up in just a moment on our Right Legal halftime show, Jesuit Athletic Director Kyle Harima will join us. We're so excited for this interview, and it'll be brought to you by Right Legal. Life situations sometimes seem daunting, and you don't always know where to start. Our trusted group of professionals at Right Legal specialize in helping with all matters relating to estate, probate, business, and tax issues. That's Right Legal, our proud halftime partner. 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter at Ellis Stadium. Jesuit working with a big lead and thinking about adding to it. 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, again, good signs for this Ranger offense, Chris, continuing to create plays and continuing to do well. Oh, as Beck Berry's got to get on this football. It's still live.
That is a little bit of a double fumble. The snap didn't go the way Jesuit wanted it to. Berry tried to fall on it. He ended up just kicking it further away from him. Judson Harris got back there and ultimately landed on it for Jesuit, but not before it trickled to the 31-yard line. And we're going to have a super exciting, this is a rare one, 3rd and goal from the 31.
You might even say, Chris, 3rd and forever. Beck Berry that time, not sure what happened on the snap. I think he wasn't quite looking. It goes right past him. As you mentioned, he just gets it further back. Judson Harris wrestled the ball away from an Irving Tiger, so we're lucky to even have the ball at this position. Let's see what the Ranger offense dials up here on this one.
Berry in the gun, Harris to his right. 3rd and goal from the 31. Berry's going to do it himself and run it up the middle. He's got a little bit of room. He'll run into a couple of defenders just outside the 15-yard line. 4th down coming and goal, and the field goal team coming on as we're going to see Cooper Magoo attempt a 35-yarder.
Well, it'll be good to give Cooper Magoo a chance to kick one from a little farther. He's got 5 extra points already tonight. Let's see how he does from what looks like about a 35-yard field goal?
Yeah, 30, just inside the 30-yard line. So we're looking at about a 34-yarder. It'll be J.P. Livingston holding. Livingston threw his first touchdown of the season a few moments ago, and now he'll be holding this 35-yard attempt from Cooper Magoo with 20 seconds on the clock. Irving will get a quick start on trying to block it, and either way, Cooper Magoo sends it through the uprights. So Jesuit will extend what was a previous record for points and a half against Irving has now been reset. Jesuit 38, Irving 0, and the encroachment offsides on the Irving defense will be declined as Jesuit adds to its lead.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Chris. The man coming off the right end that time for the Irving Tigers got a good jump, a little too good of a jump, and even still can't quite get there. Magoo puts it through, had plenty of distance on the kick. 38-0 for the Rangers. Again, they've got to be excited about this, just given how the season has started. Offense not been able to quite get into rhythm yet. They look like they're really in sync so far tonight.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I mean, this is an offense that didn't score a touchdown in that first game against Hebron, struggled a little bit against New Orleans Jesuit in Highland Park, but has really, really caught fire tonight. Looks like you got a scoring drive summary from Brian Henry there, and it'll be brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group.
Yeah, after the little bit of a weird partial blocked punt, it's 5 plays, a net of 8 yards with the crazy long fumble that time from Berry. And it's capped off by a 34-yard kick from Cooper Magoo to extend this lead. That's Vanguard Auto Group bringing you the scoring summary with GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers.
Chris Martinez picked the right game. To skip, he would have been very, very busy. Magoo's kick is going to be returned or just grabbed at the 1-yard line. A fair catch inside the 20 results in essentially a touchback, as Irving will have 19 seconds to see what they can do offensively.
Yeah, Chris Martinez, for those of you that don't know, a mostly pen and paper kind of statistician, which doesn't happen these days. So I'm not sure. He might have gone through a couple of pencils and a couple of pads of notes at this point with all the offensive and defensive, to be honest, statistics that the Jesuit Rangers have loaded up tonight.
So the score, Jesuit 38, Irving 0. We are appreciative to the folks at Tradio for helping us out this evening and getting this thing up and running. 38-0 is your score, 19 seconds on the clock. The Irving offense will see, they'll just kneel this ball down and take it into halftime, down 38-0. First, Kevin, let's talk about the Jesuit offense, then let's talk about the Jesuit defense. But actually, we'll take a very quick break, and we'll see about having Jesuits athletic director Kyle Harriman join us for halftime. So we'll have Coach Harriman with us at the half. We'll tell you a little bit about the first half, tell you a little bit about the history of the broadcast. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back with you. Thank you for joining us tonight on Jesuit Ranger Football on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network.
go ahead and save some battery?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Camera 2.
For halftime entertainment, please welcome the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band and Rangerette Drill Team. Now entering the field are the Rangerettes. The Rangerettes will be performing to Kings and Queens.
They don't take this serious every day.
From Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving, the Jesuit Ranger offense all over it in the first half. Jesuit leads 38-0 here in the District 7 6A opener. Along with Kevin Fitzsimmons, I'm Chris Ackles. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we are joined here at the half by Jesuit Athletic Director Kyle Harama. Thank you so much for joining us. We're trying it again after the first one didn't work out, but thanks for being here with us tonight.
Well, excited to be here. And first of all, just so excited to have you guys here. You guys are phenomenal.
Well, we love being here, love doing it. I should mention that our halftime show is brought to you by Right Legal. Life situations sometimes seem daunting and you don't know where to start. Our trusted group of professionals at Right Legal specialize in helping with any matter you need. So check them out, Right Legal, our halftime partner. Well, Kyle, heck of a start for Jesuit offense tonight.
Man, I just really a non-teacher schedule has led to this moment. I think we've played some pretty phenomenal games against some very tough opponents in the first 3 weeks. And so I think on both sides of the ball, we've done big plays on special teams, defensively.
Let's try this again. Okay. You joked about you being the bad luck. Last time we tried to interview you, nothing worked. This time we're getting there.
We're going to get there. Are we good now? Okay, we're good. No, going back to the start for the Rangers, I think that our first 3 weeks has really led to this moment. We've played 3 phenomenal teams in non-district, and so and I think our kids every week are just getting better and better. So solid start for both sides of the balls, defensively, special teams. We're kind of winning in all 3 phases of the game right now.
No doubt about it. A special teams touchdown there, and a defensive, really excellent defensive play, and of course Jesuits offense getting on the board. Kyle, let's talk a little bit about this role here. This place obviously is different from area public schools. You've had an entire career here in at various UIL schools, a lot of which here in the DFW area at Lovejoy before coming here. Jesuit's different. What brought you here? What made you decide, yeah, I want to be a part of this thing?
Well, it really came down to a conversation I had with Chris Hill. Chris and I had been in the high school basketball scene for a long time, and we were having a conversation about a year and a half ago, and he'd let me know that the athletic director position had opened up at Jesuit. We got to talking about it and put my name into the hopper, and it came out where I had an opportunity to come to Jesuit. And this place is so different than any place I've been before, and I think the thing that makes it so different is the community. In a public school, you kind of live in the community and you kind of go your separate way after a period of time, but with 80 years of tradition, there is a different sense of the community here. And once you're a Jesuit Ranger, you're a Jesuit Ranger for life, and you just see how many people their dads, their grandparents went to Jesuit, and there's just such a connection with the community that makes it so special.
You know, it's funny. When I graduated in '09 and went on to a Jesuit university, then I had an opportunity to coach at some other Jesuit high schools, 2 other Jesuit high schools, one in Milwaukee and one in Chicago. And I realized quickly, like, oh my gosh, I love this place, I love this community. And I think what it taught me, because of course I loved my time at Jesuit.
Sure.
Just absolutely loved Jesuit. And I think I would have told you at age 18 or age 21, I just love Jesuit, which is still true today, obviously. But being at those other Jesuit schools, those other schools with AMDG on the door, I think I realized there's something about that mission. There's something about the way that young people are educated in a Jesuit school, about the Ignatian pedagogical paradigm, about educating the whole person. That's really at the heart of this whole thing, and that's what makes it. It's not the walls.
It's just the formation of the boys.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we have a faith-based institution where it's such a part of the culture, and it is that mission of we truly are. We're not just trying to push you onto a great college, which happens so often, but we're trying to build men for life, and we're doing that there.
Now, tell me about your role now. So you're an athletic director now, relatively new role for you. Take us through a day, right? Today's Thursday. Obviously, it's a game day, but where does your day start?
It looks different every single day. There's nothing that is set any day. But so you could do anything from, we did a parent coffee the other day for incoming 8th graders, and so you had an opportunity to talk about what the experience is going to look like for kids. We have so many different events that take place on campus, and so we meet as a team to make sure that all those events come across in the standard that we want. We really want to set the standard for how things are done, and so when people come to our campus, we want it to be different and special and done at the highest degree. So we do a lot of planning ahead of time. It could be budgeting. It could be meeting with coaches who have a concern or they want how to handle that situation. So you have a lot of one-on-one opportunities to talk to coaches. It could be budgeting, and so it's a myriad of things. And then the best parts of the days are like tonight, where you get a chance to see the kids compete after practicing all week. And we do have admin on duty, but I don't see this as a part of the job. I see this as just the fun part of the job, is where you get to go watch the kids compete.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it is the fun part of the job to be able to go to the games. That certainly is the fun part. And it's funny when I hear you talk about coffee with 8th grade parents, and I hear you talk about preparing for these events and making sure they're top-notch events. When you think about, I think this is true for almost any school, but it feels particularly true for an all-boys school and one in a city like Dallas. Sports is your number one way of connecting with alumni. It's your number one way of connecting with middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade boys. I mean, sports they're not just a kind of a fun thing to do on a Thursday or Friday night. They're integral to the school and the school community.
Right. I was this kid that, I was a good student, but I lived for sports. It was the thing that drove me every single day. And I think back to the experiences that I had with all my coaches and my teammates. It's the thing that we talk about so often as we get to be adults. And of course, the accomplishments in high school grow a little bit more over time. But it is, and like you, I know, like right here with Kevin, I just think about the relationships you've developed with people through sports, and it's such a great community builder. If you think about like an event like a home football game, what other event ties in so many different people within the community? You have the actual football team, you have the Rangerettes, you have the cheer team, you have the band, and you have the whole community come out to support. And so I think those types of nights are such great binders for the community. Yeah, no doubt about it. Jesuits got a 38-0 lead at halftime here at Ellis Stadium in Irving. We are with Kyle Harima, the athletic director of Jesuit College Prep. 18 years as a head basketball coach at Lovejoy. You talked about how Chris Hill was kind of the first person to nudge you in this direction. You won 7 district championships in those 18 years. Was it hard to step away from the hardwood and go into an AD role? I miss the day-to-day interactions with the kids is what I miss the most. They mean the world to me, and I don't have kids of my own, and so they were kind of an extension of my family, so I miss that piece of it, those day-to-day interactions. But I don't really miss the actual coaching piece of that part of my life anymore.
Sure.
I've really just kind of really dug into this part of the athletic director position, and instead of necessarily investing on kids on a daily basis, you're trying to invest in adults, and so that the kids can have a great experience. And so just kind of taking that one part of my life, and it was incredible. Have so many great memories. But this is actually, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now.
How does that experience, that direct contact with students, that 2 decades of really successful coaching, how does that inform what you do now? Because you may not be an expert at every sport, but your experience teaches you what it takes to be that coach.
I go back to like one of my early days in coaching, and I shared an office with a volleyball coach who is now a girls volleyball coach who's now in the Hall of Fame, the National Hall of Fame for volleyball. And I shared an office with a girls basketball coach and in another sport. And I learned so much that year because it wasn't about X and O's, but it was more about philosophically about how to run a program, how to deal with parents. And so I think that you don't necessarily have to be an expert in the sport, but I do think you need to be an expert in how to deal with situations and deal with people. And so 28 years of experience with dealing with people, I think that's where my expertise is now, is how to deal with people in situations so that we can come out with the best outcome.
Now, let me ask you about, it's funny, I wanted to ask you about how unique the UIL is. And then I sat there and thought, well, this guy's pretty much lived his life in the UIL. Like, to you, it may be like, oh, this is totally normal. But I can tell you from having coached in other states, there is so much about this thing that's not normal. And I'll give you a couple of quick examples. In Missouri, where I went to college, in Illinois, where I coached, in Wisconsin, where I coached, they have these set conferences. You're in the same conference every year. A great way to develop rivalries and play the same teams every year. Here, your districts rotate. We're in this District 7 6A right now, and a year from now, we could be somewhere totally different, playing a completely different district schedule. So that concept is strange. That creates very strange playoff brackets with Division I and Division II, and then you have this additional layer where it's like I have to explain to people in other states, okay, there's a public school league and a private school league, but we're a private school in the public school. I mean, it's psychotic. This thing is how do you wrap your mind around this?
I think, first of all, the Texas High School Coaches Association is the most powerful in the United States. We have more members than anybody else, and there is such a dedication to the profession. In so many other states, you're allowed to potentially be a insurance person who's able to coach in a high school.
Right.
And so within the UIL, you actually have to be an educator and work at the school full time. And so I do think that's what makes this unique, is that you have to be an educator full time to work in the schools. But in terms of like the UIL, it's so big, and there's such Texas does things on a grander scale than everybody else, including athletics. And really, I'd say the Metroplex specifically, the investment that you see in athletics in terms of youth sports, and what you see in terms of facilities. When college coaches come to Texas and they see the facilities and the investment, it's just different here. Which I think we're proud of our sports in Texas. Now, in terms of realignment, especially with as many people moving to Texas these days, schools who are small, I mean, you go back, if you think about it, 20 years ago, Prosper was a small 2A school with 150 people in the high school. 20 years ago. Fast forward now, they have 4 high schools, and all of them have over 3,000 kids in the high school.
Oh, my gosh,
And so the landscape, you have to go through that redistricting because normal rivalries don't occur anymore because you constantly have to adjust with the moving populations. So the realignment will actually occur. We'll do the attendance check in October. So we'll do the attendance for each district. And then in February, we'll see the new realignment and see where we lay.
Yeah, that's always a fun day when the new alignment comes out, and one sport loves it and the other sport hates it, and it's always a blast.
Absolutely.
When and then all of them are asking, how did we land here? That's half the fun. Let me ask you this, because we all watch college sports, professional sports. College sports in particular has had this really tumultuous few years. You've had significant conference realignment. We've had the advent of NIL. We've had transfer portal. It's been an earthquake in college athletics over the last 5 years. Are you worried about any of that trickling to the high school level, or do you feel like, no, these are totally different? That's almost pro now, and we're truly still amateur.
First of all, do you have any colleges that you root for regularly?
Well, you know that answer, and we finally won a football game last weekend, so go Irish. I wouldn't have answered that 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to my administrative assistant, Megan O'Sullivan. She is a former Notre Dame grad and soccer player there, and her daughter's a manager on the football team.
Oh, I love that.
So shout out to the Golden Domers. Yeah, I think it's to a degree there's some concern. In terms of the NIL going to the high school level, I think you're dealing with such a small number of kids who would qualify for something that. I mean, we're talking the elite of the elite that would be talking about that. So, and the Texas High School Coaches Association is fighting to keep regulations in place, to keep the amateur piece in play. But I think as a coaches association and a profession, we need to stay ahead of the curve. We've seen so many. I think the NCAA was very reactionary, and it got out of control.
Yeah.
And they've tried to put some constraints on it now, and it's very difficult to do that. So I think as an organization and as a state, we need to stay on top of it and be proactive rather than reactive.
Jesuit 38, Irving 0 here on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network. We thank you for joining us. We're here with Kyle Harriman, the athletic director at Jesuit. Of course, Kevin Fitzsimmons will be with us here in just a moment to begin the third quarter in about 10 minutes. Kyle, let's look ahead. What are some of the exciting events coming down the pipeline for Jesuit athletics? Obviously, football season, we're 4 games in, but this school year's just getting started.
Well, Jesuit offers more sports than any other program in the Metroplex, 22 sports.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so we have so many different opportunities for the kids. Crew is going to Oklahoma to compete here soon. We have the wrestling. We're coming up with wrestling, the Frank Halloran wrestling meets. We've got district coming up in cross country. We have playoffs coming up for water polo. And so we've got a very robust fall, and then as the winter comes along, you'll have the Knights of Columbus, which has been over, I think the tournament has been over 60 years at the Knights of Columbus, which is a great deal. And then as the spring comes on, the spring is the absolute busiest time of year. I think most people think that the busiest time is during football season, the fall, but the spring is
it's
actually
that early spring when
correct.
The winters are all finishing and the springs are all starting.
You have that huge overlap, and we have so many spring sports with like lacrosse and volleyball and baseball and rugby that the spring is absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Kevin Fitzsimmons just whispered into my ear, "You're loud," and I have no idea. He's talking to me. He said, "Chris, you're loud." I don't know if that's a reference to the broadcast or if that's just me.
Strong vocals.
Yeah, he says that to me most Thursday nights. No, but you're right. Tons happening at Jesuit. Tell us about this football dads club. You told me about this like a month ago, and I didn't get a chance to hear the whole story. But there's a dads club that meets on Wednesday nights, I think it is.
That's correct, right across the street at the Republic. And what a great connector, for our dads to get to know our coaches and our coaches to get to know our parent group. Conversely, too, because all of our kids come from so many different places. You have kids coming from the public schools. You have kids coming from the different DPL schools. A lot of our dads don't really know each other, especially as some are in the senior class, some in the junior, some in the sophomore. It's really been a connector for the parents that they get to know each other on a more personal level. And then it's just a great opportunity for our staff and the dads to get to know each other on a personal level where there's a connectedness to it, and it's been fun to hear some of their philosophies about why they do some certain things, or like as a defensive, as a wide receiver coach, do you prefer to see zone or man coverage?
Sure, yeah.
And so the coaches are going over some of the technical pieces of the game, but also some of their background, and so been a great connector between both groups.
Yeah, what a really cool idea. Sounds like it's Wednesday nights at the Republic. when you guys do that. You know, when Kevin and I sat down with Coach Hickman before the season started, he was just going on and on about multi-sport athletes.
Sure.
Every single player we asked him about, he's like, that guy plays track, that guy plays basketball, that guy plays lacrosse. I mean, it was just every one of them. And to me, what a testament to the athletic department as a whole working together. I mentioned before that I've coached at other places. It's not like that everywhere.
Sure.
But you got to have buy-in from coaches to say, yeah, we're going to make this work. And, of course, you got to have the athletes to do it as well.
Yeah, I think as long as a kid has an interest to do multiple things and is talented enough to do it, man, we are going to create every avenue possible to be able to do that. And it really comes down to the adults trying to make it work and not be selfish about their particular sport. You know, I think it's the single sport athletes these days, it's typically more the influences outside of the school that
Interesting, yeah.
You know, a lot of times, you know, the skill trainers and some of the select teams, they have a financial investment
Sure.
in keeping them in one sport. And so that is sometimes where we have, and the landscape of sports has changed so much now that sport is 365 now. So that is some of the things that we fight with multi-sports. But really, I go back to my own experience. I grew up in a small town and only had 31 in my graduating class. And I was allowed to play everything that I wanted to. And I got so much out of being involved in so many different things. And so for our kids who are multi-sport, we want to make that happen for them and knock down any barriers that we can to make that work for them.
And also, a lot of times it's better for the player, the kid, right? It's better for their bodies to be doing different things. And here's this other piece that I thought about all the time. It's like by the time you've hit your senior year, if you're playing multiple sports, that's now maybe 8 different locker rooms that you've been in, and you're understanding the vibe and what it takes to be a good teammate. That might be 6 different playoff runs because you did it as a lacrosse player and a football player, as a basketball player and a baseball player. Your IQ gets higher. Your ability to be a good teammate gets higher. Your ability to respond to coaching gets higher. The maturity increases. And what a wonderful benefit. And Coach Hickman, as you could tell, he was raving about the fact that all these guys remain active in other sports all year.
And I think it just makes you a competitor. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, things like track, how awesome is track that you literally are on that line and you are racing somebody else.
Yeah.
It is a mano-a-mano situation. I think being involved in other sports makes you a competitor.
Yeah.
And, we're fortunate to have a number of kids who have the ability and the coaching staff that make it work for those guys to be multi-sport kids.
As you can see on your screen, it's homecoming night here at Ellis Stadium for the Irving Tigers. Jesuits got a 38-0 lead here at the half as Irving recognizes its homecoming court right at midfield. We're a few minutes away from the third quarter here on the Right Legal halftime show. Kyle Harima, the athletic director of the Jesuit Dallas, is with us, and one last question is, I really wish our viewers could see you right now because that vest is awesome. Where do I get one of those?
My wife says I have too many sweater vests in the wardrobe. I probably wouldn't have to have one.
Don't throw that one away.
I think I'm catching some. You have that cafeteria where you get free food every day for the staff, and I'm having to cover. It's not even the winter yet.
I've learned that I have to listen to my wife on all things wardrobe, but that vest, you cannot get rid of that. Well, I'm going to rephrase it. If you do get rid of that vest, mail it to my house.
I'm sure we'll try to get you some swag. I'm trying to hook you up with a polo tonight. Maybe I just
I need to throw it on. I'm out of uniform. The first thing Kyle said to me when I saw
we'll get him a PH for being out of dress code tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kyle, thank you for joining us on the Right Legal halftime show. What a blast!
Again, I'm just we're so blessed to have the both of you. Just bringing the institutional knowledge to what we're doing, but more importantly, just knowing the mission of the school and bringing it with such enthusiasm. We have an A+ team here. Appreciate you guys so much. You're the best.
Well, thank you for saying that. My brother, who has never met you, Kyle, was laughing at your quote. You had a quote. You said, "We arguably have the best broadcast team in Texas," and he goes, "Arguably? Why? What do you mean arguably? What's the best?" Okay, Matt, relax. So anyway, thanks for joining and thanks for your kind words.
All right, boys, take it easy.
Appreciate it. We'll take a very quick break here on the Right Legal Halftime Show. When we come back, Kevin Fitzsimmons will join us. We'll recap the first half, and we'll kick off the second half here at Ellis Stadium. Jesuits got a 38-0 lead here at the half at Ellis Stadium. We want to say thank you to our halftime partner, Right Legal. Life situations sometimes seems daunting, and you don't know where to start. But start with Right Legal, as they are experts on estate, probate, business, and tax issues. Right Legal, our halftime partner. And our title sponsor for these broadcasts, Veritex Bank. Proud to be the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. Visit veritexbank.com, member FDIC. Sports Information Director Brian Henry's got a team of folks back there working on stats. Kevin Fitzsimmons has got them for us. Jesuits up 38-0. Kevin, what do you got?
Contrary to popular belief, Chris, no Chris Martinez does not mean no statistics at the halftime. Again, thanks to Brian Henry, Sports Information Director, and our team of student statisticians back there, Gianni, Mercury, and Sebastian, working hard for us to bring you some first half statistics. Score 38-0 in favor of the Rangers. 9 first downs on offense for the Rangers. We had 13 rushes for 41 yards, and we were 7 of 10 through the air for 138 yards. Total offense, 23 plays for 179 yards, and that's as good as the Rangers have been in a game all year, much less a half. A couple of statistical leaders. We mentioned him early. Max Smith has 25 yards on 5 attempts, 2 touchdowns, including that 13-yard touchdown late in the first quarter. Beck Berry has a few rushes, a long of 52, as well as 4 of 6 passing for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. He had the long 54-yard touchdown to Cade Kirby on that drive. And J.P. Livingston, as we mentioned, comes in, gets his first touchdown of the year. He was 3 of 4 in the second quarter for 58 yards. And the touchdown receiving leader tonight, Cade Kirby, 4 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns in a half of football. That obviously including the big one from Barry on that over 50-yarder in the first quarter. So a good night for the offense so far tonight. Looking at the Jesuit defense, Wambacher continues to lead the team in tackles with 6. Weissmuller has 4. Phillips 3. Tanner Krug 3 with a sack. A big tackle for loss there as well. So a good night statistically for the Rangers. And we made it without you, Chris Martinez.
Yeah, 28 yards per catch for Cade Kirby is pretty impressive. 4 catches, 112 yards. It's homecoming night here at Ellis Stadium for Irving, despite the Rangers having a 38-0 lead at halftime. I believe that one of the Irving players was just named homecoming king, so that's great news. We'll have to figure out which player that was and recognize him on the broadcast as well. Our third quarter will be getting underway here in just a few moments as we thank you, of course, for joining us. Kevin, a good opportunity here to talk a little bit about this broadcast, why we're here, and how this all got started. It was 1998. Local attorney named Tom Walsh decided that he was going to broadcast Jesuit football games. He went to athletic director Steve Cook and said, I got an idea, and I'll pay for it. Let me broadcast these games on KAAM. They needed a coach to do it with him, and they landed on the great Jack Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, I think we've had a chance to tell this story a couple of times. I'm not sure who all has heard it or how many people were on the air when we did. So it's my understanding that the first game of that season, Tom Walsh did the game with a local friend of his, another attorney, I think. And for the first home game, a Jesuit staff member was able to participate. It's my understanding that they were going to try and rotate to have a number of different staff members that season be on the air with Tom. And about one quarter into the football game, Tom and my dad looked at each other and said, I think this works. I think we've got something going here. And next thing you know, they were doing it together every Friday in the fall for 25 years. Really something that I think was just unexpected for both of them for this program, but something that became a legacy and that has helped hundreds, thousands of people maybe listen over the years to Jesuit football from near and far.
No doubt. Tom Walsh, Jack Fitzsimmons, and Chris Martinez anchored this broadcast for a quarter century and watched it grow from radio on KAAM. I think it changed. It went to 95.3 The Range for a while. Then all of a sudden the internet develops. It started to get on the internet. Brian Montgomery shows up, takes it to a video format. Now all of a sudden here we are today. We've got a score bug. We've got replays as we approach year 30 for this broadcast. You, of course, filling the chair that your dad filled for 25 years. What a cool opportunity for you to do that.
Yeah, so special and grateful for you, Chris, for involving me in this as this got going this year. Tom Walsh continued to carry the torch for a couple of years after Dad retired from the broadcast. And now it's been, a little bit up in the air what this is going to look like, right? And so you get reached out to here by James Kramer and Kyle Harima, and it's been so fun for us this season to take this on as we kick off the second half here between Jesuit and the Irving Tigers. We're looking forward to this being an important part of our Friday nights for at least this season, and then who knows.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and hopefully this Jesuit defense can hang on to this lead. They've got quite a cushion trying to build into their first win of the season to go 1-0 in district. We're underway in the third quarter here at Ellis Stadium in Frisco. Our third quarter partner is Complete Land Sculpture. Complete Land Sculpture creating beautiful outdoor spaces for more than 40 years, from initial design, construction of pools and structures, planning, installation, and year-round maintenance. Complete Land Sculpture is proud to keep North Texas looking its best. 214-949-4689. 214-949-4689 for Complete Land Sculpture, our third quarter partner. Irving receives the ball to begin the third quarter. They're trailing 38-0. The Irving offense has only been on Jesuit's side of midfield once tonight, and on their first play from scrimmage, we've got some yellow laundry, and they'll be headed back 5 yards.
Yeah, Garcia not happy that time, didn't know what happened, but it looks like they're going to back this up for another false start. I believe that's the third of the game for the Tigers. Long halftime, so maybe these players might take him a couple of minutes to get loose again here as the third quarter gets underway, Chris.
Athletic Director Kyle Harima mentioned at halftime, not only, when you see a score of 38-0, you think, wow, the offense came to life. And they did. That's definitely true. But a great night so far for the defense. Obviously, they've put up a goose egg. They have an interception. They have only allowed Irving across midfield once tonight. And a great night for special teams. You had a phenomenal return to begin the game. You had a scoop and score on a block punt. Really, all three phases, Jesuit seems to be clicking on all cylinders tonight.
And that's what it takes to win a game like this and to dominate a game so far in the Rangers, in the way that the Rangers have, right? You're on all sides of the ball, able to take advantage of your strengths. And I think it'll continue here. We'll see if the Rangers, how long the first team lasts on the field with this kind of a lead, and hopefully get to see some names that we haven't seen so much this season late in the game here.
Yeah, they'll run the ball up the middle on second and long. It'll create a third and long situation. Earlier you saw a close-up of Captain Tanner Krug. He's had a great night tonight. You see him involved here as well. And on third down and 10 for Irving coming up, it's been a great night here for the Jesuit defense.
It's Gabriel James in, senior linebacker, on the tackle that time. He had a pick six taken away by an unfortunate penalty in the first half. He looks like he's hungry out there for more, wants something else coming.
In the shotgun, Garcia looks to his left. That's going to be complete, but a quick tackle from Andres Van. Boy, he got to him quick. Evans caught the ball and had no room to move. Van was right there.
Yeah, and Evans a little bit slow to get up that time, just took a pop from Andres Van. He read the route great, as you see here. As soon as he's going to catch it and come down with it, Van's there on the big tackle. And that's a great stop there for the Rangers, 3 and out thanks to the penalty on this first drive, as it looks like the Tigers will get back to punt.
Yeah, it looks like Irving's going to punt this one away. It's Jose Garcia. He's also a quarterback. He's going to try to get this one off. It's been blocked once tonight. Corson Lindley deep for the return for Jesuit, as we are in the early stages of the third quarter. There's the snap. He will get the punt away. Lindley underneath it. And though he'll return it for a few yards, he's quickly met by a tackler, and Jesuit's offense will take over right at midfield.
Yeah, I think it was number 2 that time, Lamonte Walker for the Irving defense in coverage. I'm not sure that Lindley doesn't get a few more yards if he doesn't make the tackle, so Irving fortunate that time. Lindley not too dangerous on the return, as we know he can be, and the Rangers will start this offensive drive from right at midfield, Chris.
Beck Berry will be back in at quarterback. He's had a nice night tonight. Standing to his left is Max Smith. He's had a phenomenal night tonight. He's reached pay dirt twice. And on 1st and 10 from midfield, he'll hand the ball to Max Smith. And Smith is going to, oh boy, I think he dropped it. But it looks like Jesuit's got it back. Yeah, Smith dropped it, had it stripped out of his hand. But for Jesuit, Caden Profit was in there behind him to fall on it.
He was fortunate to be in the right position, Caden Profit, inside wide receiver that time. You know, we talked about this in the first half, Chris, with number 25, Max Smith, in there at running back. He's listed on the depth chart as a wide receiver. You'll see the ball pop out there. The camera doesn't quite have it, and Jesuit fortunate to recover the fumble.
Yeah, they'll hand the ball off again, and this time they'll pick up a first down and then some. It was impressive there for Profit to find his way back into the play and trail the runner to get that fumble back on first down. And then on second down, the handoff went to Judson Harris, and Harris picked up nearly 20 yards.
Judson Harris, just 5'10", 170 pounds, junior, Chris. He looked shifty that time in through the hole and had a great gain. It says third down over there on the yardage marker, but I think it's the first down, well earned for the Jesuit Rangers.
Yeah, at the 33-yard line, it's going to be 1st and 10. Harris remains in the game and stands just behind and to the left of Beck Berry. Berry snaps it, hands the ball off to Harris. This time he'll pop out to the right. He's going to pick up another 8 or 9 yards. 2 consecutive productive runs for Judson Harris.
Yeah, and what you like to see from Harris out there, Chris, is he's real patient going through the hole. That time, as we watch the replay here, he'll get into the hole to the right-hand side. It's a good block by Lucas Mayer, and then he just follows the blockers. That's number 78 out there for the Rangers, Tony Kohler, offensive lineman. That's exactly how they teach you to run when you're a running back. Just follow the behinds of your blockers, and that'll get you some yards.
Second down, 1 to go. Harris still in the backfield. He'll get the ball again. 3rd consecutive play from scrimmage that goes to Judson Harris. 3rd consecutive productive run from Harris. He picks up 5 or 6. Good for a Jesuit Ranger first down.
And another time out there where we get these big offensive linemen pushing the pile. Judson Harris had about 1 or 2 yards on his own. And then number 72, Luke Cutler, and number 78, Tony Kohler, pushed the pile for 6 more yards. It's first down Rangers.
Jesuit happy to see the clock continuing to run with a 38-0 lead on a school night. School tomorrow.
That's
so
right, Chris.
We'll see. He's got Harris to his right, Mayer to his left. This handoff goes to Mayer. Mayer up the middle. Berry ran a little fake around to the left, but Mayer picks up a few yards of his own.
As you mentioned, clock continuing to run down here in this third quarter, Chris. It's been mostly run, if not all run so far by the Ranger offense, and we'll continue to see how long Coach leaves the first team out there. Would love to see some young guys get in, and it's now about the time that you start to think about injury prevention, right? We got Shane Parker and Harlan Buechler, 2 dynamic offensive talents, are sidelined over there for the Rangers. We hope to have them back in the coming weeks early here in district play, but want to make sure that the rest of the team can stay healthy as the season continues on. That we're just the first game of district.
Yeah, handoff there to Harris. That time it was sniffed out. The Irving defense saw it coming, and that was Caden James that really made a spectacular play on defense for Irving, as Harris is brought down pretty quickly behind the line.
Yeah, let's see what the Rangers choose to do here, Chris, on 3rd and medium, about 3rd and 8. They had a good first half in terms of third down efficiency. I want to say the numbers, they were 3 of 5 on third down conversions in the first half. So let's see here. Looks like a pretty big lineup there, almost a goal line formation.
Harris again to his right. Mayer's in there as well. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be Judson Harris again. He'll pick up about 5. It's going to be 4th and short. It's certainly within Cooper Magoo's range. Should Jesuit decide to kick the field goal, we'll see what Coach Hickman does.
Yeah, it looks like Magoo was ready to run on, stays on the sideline as you see the replay here. Harris makes it through the hole, pushes the pile, but not all the way for the first down. Rangers going for it here.
Going for it, 4th down, 2 or 3 to go. Tried to draw Irving off sides. It didn't work, so now we'll have a play put in. It looks like Coach Hickman, Coach Radican. I see Coach Gavin down there, Coach Livingston. You got a few folks down there. One of them put in a play. Everybody else deked everyone. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be Harris. He's going to have a lead block, and he's going to get the first down. Harris followed the block. A big block there for Jesuit. I believe it was Barnaby Cox who created the hole, and Harris took advantage.
A little bit of a gutsy call there as they go for it on 4th down. You'll see here it's just another inside handoff. There's Barnaby Cox. Judson Harris makes one man almost miss. I think if not for number 2, Lamonte Walker, he's in the end zone. Now it's 1st down and very short for the Rangers who are inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, 1st down, goal to go from the 3-yard line. Harris off to the right of Beck Brady. Mayer will motion a little bit. Hand the ball off. It's going to be to Harris. He's going to pop off to the left. He deserves it. He earned just about every yard of that drive. Touchdown, Judson Harris. Touchdown, Jesuit. The Rangers add to their lead.
Again, Chris, we say Judson Harris's name. He was great that entire drive. We'll try to get you some statistics. But before this game, Judson Harris had played in 2 games for the Rangers, had 3 attempts for a net yardage of -3. So it's really great to see him doing well from that running back position. And as you mentioned, he gets the payoff as well deserved for that short 3-yard touchdown run. It's Cooper Magoo to finish it with the PAT.
First touchdown of the season for Judd Harris. Magoo is perfect so far tonight on the PAT. Jesuit 45, Irving 0. The third quarter is brought to you by Complete Land Sculpture. They're our third quarter partner, creating beautiful outdoor spaces for more than 4 decades. From initial design, construction of pools and structures, planning, installation, to year-round maintenance, Complete Land Sculpture is proud to keep North Texas looking great. They're also honored to be longtime supporters of Jesuit Athletics. Contact Complete Land Sculptures at 214-949-4689. That's 214-949-4689. Complete Land Sculpture, proud partners of the Jesuit Ranger Athletics. Scoring drive summary from Vanguard Auto Group, Kevin.
9 plays that time for the Rangers, 50 yards, 5 minutes, 26 seconds, capped off by the 3-yard run from Judson Harris.
Judd Harris's first touchdown of the season, the Vanguard Auto Group scoring drive. Vanguard Auto Group proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics. GMC, Kia, Ford dealerships all across the DFW Metroplex. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. 45-0 lead for Jesuit, Kevin, and a couple of guys. J.P. Livingston threw his first touchdown of the season. Now we have Judd Harris scoring his first touchdown of the season. Max Smith scored his first and then picked up his second already. So it's good to see these guys get the stats that show how hard they've been working this year as we begin District 7 6A.
Absolutely, Chris. And I hope to see more of it tonight as the game continues to go on with this 45-0 lead for the Rangers. That time it's a nice return by Irving Tigers number 3, Napoleon Proctor. And it was a great job by Jesuits number 36, Miller Stevenson, on the kickoff coverage. If you see here on the replay, you'll watch him set the edge really well on the right side. Right here, he makes Proctor turn back up, and then the tackle is made. So great job that time by number 36, Miller Stevenson, to set the edge. Otherwise, Proctor could have gone all the way to the house.
I'm telling you, you just need a telestrator, and you are the next John Matt.
I need the yellow line on the TV.
First and 10, Irving from its own 30-yard line. They'll spin it off to the right. Oh, he's going to nearly pick up a first down, pick up about 7 or 8 yards as this Irving Tiger offense is doing everything it can to get the goose egg off the board in this 45-0 game.
Yeah, a little bit of trickery on the short run that time. A handoff looked like it was going left. They reversed it back around to number 0, Jason Evans. I believe it was number 43, J.D. Moore, in on the tackle for the Rangers that time. But again, a good job by the Jesuit defense. I think it was number 34, William Shaner, who set the edge out there on the left side to make sure that that wasn't a bigger gain.
Jesuit senior Carson Long to my left on Twitter. Radio Jesuit is our handle on Twitter. Say hello to Carson. We'd love to say hello to you on the air. Irving's going to pick up 2 or 3 yards on the carry to pick up the first down. But, you know, you mentioned this Irving offense being a run-heavy offense, and Coach Hickman saying that one of the keys to this game was to stop that Irving run, and Jesuits defense done a pretty good job of it so far tonight.
Manny Uzor that time for his first tackle of the game that we've seen. He's playing in that interior line position. Good to see him there. And this time it's number 87, Dean Gafford, who makes some penetration early in the run for the Rangers, and a few more of his buddies are there to gang tackle the runner that time. I think it was number 12, Fred Green.
Jesuit returns home to Ranger Stadium next Friday night for the home district opener, taking on J.J. Pierce. Pierce was struggling tonight. They were down 27-0 against Lake Highlands at halftime of that game out in Richardson. So Pierce coming to Ranger Stadium next week for a home game for Jesuit. As a 2nd down and 6, Irving will run the ball up the middle, and it'll create about a 3rd and 3. Then we'll have Lake Highlands visit Ranger Stadium on October 10th. So those two teams playing right now. And Lake Highlands coming to town October 10th. And then we'll be right back here in Irving to take on MacArthur on Thursday night, October 16th, which, by the way, I think is our next broadcast together. Then it's Jesuit homecoming on the 24th, taking on Richardson. And the season closes out with 2 road games at Berkner and at Irving Nimitz at the end of October and early November. We're going to have a flag on this play. Wait and see what the white hat gives us.
Looks like it's another false start that time for the Irving Tigers. You mentioned Lake Highlands and Pierce, Chris. I think last score we saw for that one was 27-0. We'll see if we can get an update on that score. But Lake Highlands taking it to Pierce so far early, just like Jesuit is to the Rangers. While we have a break here for the penalty, I want to say hello to 2 good friends, Thomas Karam and Natalie Gallatin, that are listening from out in Arkansas.
Love
Thomas,
that.
cousin to the Dallas Karams, but resides in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Thanks for listening all the way from Arkansas. They're on their way to the big Notre Dame-Arkansas game this weekend, Chris.
Ooh, yeah, that is a big game on Saturday. Irving with a big offensive play, as this is going to be quarterback Elijah Garcia finding Kamari Dove. Dove found himself wide open in the end zone early in the game, though the play ended up getting called back for an ineligible receiver downfield. Dove found himself open again this time. Unfortunately, he's hobbling, tried to hobble off the field, and he's going to need to be helped a little bit, so we'll have a timeout with under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter, and Irving's offense trying to make its way towards the end zone for their first points of the evening.
Yeah, I think it was a little play action that time. As we've mentioned many times, Irving, a steady run offense, and so when you do that play action, catch the Jesuit defense sleeping a little bit, Dove goes up and grabs the ball for a first down. Looks like the ball will be inside the Jesuit 40. They'll be at the 35 when we return soon here from the injury timeout.
Yeah, less than a minute to go here in the complete land sculpture 3rd quarter. We'll then head into the Rockmore Roofing Solutions 4th quarter. From kickoff to the final whistle, Rockmore Roofing has you covered, proudly serving our neighbors and supporting Jesuit Ranger football. 54 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter here at Ellis Stadium. Jesuits got a 45-0 lead, well on their way to the first win of the 2025 season and a 1-0 district record.
Well, looking to take this great number 9, Chris, up to 10 tonight. Jesuit, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, has won its last 9 games here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. Looking to make it a 10th here tonight, and it'll be 4 in a row against Irving here at this stadium, and looks like the Tigers are
look
going
at
to go
that.
all the way and score a touchdown.
Love that. Garcia looks over to his left and sees Caden James. Now, this is right after Kamari Dove got injured on the previous play. Caden James finds himself open on the left side, gets into the end zone, and so Irving will get the goose egg off the board. Jesuits defense gives up its first points of the evening, and the Irving Tigers are on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of a broken coverage that time by the Ranger defense. Caden James finds himself wide open in the flat. Looked like it was maybe 47 Henry King for the Rangers, who couldn't get there on the tackle, and he'll go all the way into the end zone. Looks like the PAT is good, and the Tigers are on the board.
Garcia the hold, Portillo the kick. It is good. Irving's got 7 points. 45-7 now is Jesuits lead right at the end of the third quarter, as it looks like we're going to have our Vanguard Auto Group scoring drive summary from Brian Henry. Kevin, what you got?
6 plays, 70 yards, and 317 that time for the Irving Tigers, their first touchdown of the night. And that Vanguard scoring summary is brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group, proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics. With GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas, we're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers. Well, it's not going to be a shutout tonight, Chris.
No, 45-7 is your score, but still, I think, an impressive night for Jesuits defense so far through 3 quarters. I tell you, it would be really, really difficult to try to pick a player of the game for Jesuit. We're not quite there yet after 3 quarters, but Max Smith, a couple of touchdowns. Judd Harris, his first touchdown of the year. J.P. Livingston throws his first touchdown of the year. Of course, Beck Berry has had a great night at quarterback. Corson Lindley with a key return to begin the game. A lot of guys having really their best night of the season so far here in Irving.
Which is great to see again as we build the confidence here early on in the district schedule for the Rangers. As Irving looks to kick off here, it's going to be number 4, Cade Kirby, and number 24, Jack Beret, back deep for the Rangers. Let's see which of these dynamic weapons the Tigers choose to kick it to.
Portillo will kick. He just made the PAT to send this score to 45-7. He'll pooch it a little bit, probably to keep it away from Jesuits' great defenders. It's a bit of an onside kick, and the ball bounced quite a bit, but it looks like Jesuit has it. We'll have to see who comes up from the bottom of that pile to see who fell on it. The ball certainly was bouncing off that turf, but it looked like for the Rangers, Gabriel James fell on it. He had a key pick earlier in the night. Let's take a look at this replay, how he got this one.
Yeah, for the Tigers, nothing to lose, down 45-7.
Sure.
Jesuits back in their normal kick-receive formation, and so they just onside kicked it. Jesuit fortunate to come up with a little bit of a scramble that time. The first line couldn't grab it, but I think, as you mentioned, Gabriel James, the one who falls on it ultimately for the Rangers. 1st and 10
Jesuit from its own 48-yard line. It looks like that's Judd Harris in the backfield again. No, actually, this ball's going to be ripped right through by Ty DeBow. His first handoff of the evening, and Ty DeBow takes it 52 yards. No doubt about it. Welcome to the ball game, Ty DeBow. He's on the board quick.
Well, now this running back room is getting full, Chris, with Max Smith, Judson Harris, and Ty DeBow getting in on the action as you see him break through here almost untouched from 60 yards out, and then just too much speed all the way home to the touchdown. He is on his first run of the night in the end zone for one of the longest plays of the season, one of the longest plays of the night so far for the Rangers.
Great stuff for Ty DeBow. Can't wait for this scoring drive summary from Kevin. Sterling Kipnis is going to be the kicker for Jesuit. He sends it through the uprights. He gets a congratulations from his entire offensive line. That's fantastic. 5'8" junior Sterling Kipnis with the PAT. It's good. It's 52-7.
Let's make sure you say the other part of that, Chris. It's 5'8", 115 pounds. Sterling Kipnis out there. He was as excited as anybody all night to get his points on the board, and the rest of the Rangers were too. As we look at the distance on that play, one play, 52 yards, 10 seconds for the Ty DeBow score. 1 rush, 1 touchdown, 10 seconds. That's all Ty DeBow needed to get into the end zone.
Carson Long over here on Twitter, we're keeping him busy, making sure everybody's name is spelled right, all the stats are done right. Follow us at Radio Jesuit. Feel free to say hello as well on Twitter. We'd love to say hello to you as well. We're 27 seconds from the end of the third quarter. Jesuit's got a big lead, 52-7 over the Irving Tigers at this point, and Jesuit is looking to put the fourth quarter exclamation on a 1-0 record in District 7-6A play as Cooper Magoo is back on for the kickoff. He'll send it away and try to send it into the end zone for a touchback.
And looks like he does. Irving Tigers not going to receive that one. Chris, if I'm doing my math correctly, we're just here at the end of the third quarter, but so far this season, the Rangers have a scoring average of 4.5 points. If you throw 52 into that pot, it's going to jump up, I think, to 13. 13
for this game, 14.
For the season so far. 14 for the season,
yeah,
something like that. So
that's pretty good math.
This is good for the Rangers to get that scoring average up for the season here by taking it to the Tigers.
Irving at its own 25-yard line after the touchback. Garcia is under center. It's been largely a run offense, though not exclusively. He'll hand the ball to Kamari Dove. It's good to see Dove back on the field after an injury in the previous drive. Appears to be healthy and picks up about 8 or 9 yards for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's Miller Stevenson again on the tackle that time, just a wide receiver reverse. Kamari Dove coming from that right side of the field as we see here, and then looks to turn up the field. Maybe got away with a hold there, did the Tigers. But it's Miller Stevenson who makes the tackle with a couple of other Rangers getting involved. That's a good gain on first down for the Tigers as we go into the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, the complete land sculpture third quarter comes to a close. Jesuit with a 52-7 lead here at Ellis Stadium in Irving. Our title sponsor tonight is Veritex Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Jesuit Rangers, sharing a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Visit veritexbank.com. Member FDIC. We head to the fourth quarter, and your partner for the fourth quarter, Rockmore Roofing Solutions. From kickoff to the final whistle, Rockmore Roofing has you covered. Proudly serving our neighbors and supporting Jesuit Rangers football, Rockmore Roofing is your fourth quarter partner here on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network. Kevin, we mentioned it earlier, we'll be back on the air next week, Friday night. It'll be a home game at Ranger Stadium as Jesuit will take on the Mustangs of J.J. Pierce. And then another home game a week later, taking on Lake Highlands on October 10th. So 2 consecutive home games coming up for the Rangers over the next few weeks. But we're going to get through this one tonight. And this Irving offense, another impressive pass from Garcia. The Rangers having trouble chasing him down. That's a pass from Garcia to Fred Green, and he'll pick up 30 or 40 yards on the play.
Big gain there on second down. Not sure if the Rangers were ready for that as soon as the fourth quarter is getting started. The Tigers now going from left to right on your screen. It's Fred Green who escapes out of the backfield away from linebacker coverage, gets all the way down to the 12 that time for Irving.
Yeah, Fred Green, quite an athlete. He's a linebacker on the defensive side of the ball. He plays both wide receiver and running back. We're going to see this Irving offensive line try to force its way into the end zone, and they've done it. Looked like a QB sneak. Garcia kept it. His offensive line carried him in, and the Tigers are back on the board here at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
If there's been something consistent we've seen all night, Chris, it's after a big play, they get up to the line of scrimmage quick, and then they do this little QB sneak. That's number 10, Elijah Garcia, who takes that QB sneak 12 yards into the end zone. Again, you don't see that all the time. Another touchdown for the Tigers.
Portillo's PAT a little bit low and no good. It looked like it got tipped by someone on that Jesuit Ranger defense, and it'll keep Irving at 13 points. Their second touchdown of the night here in the first minute of the fourth quarter. Jesuits lead 52-13.
And that Jesuit defense will want to look at what happened there as Fred Green escaped for the big 60-plus yard gain on second down here to start the fourth quarter. But the Rangers continue to lead 52-13. And we'll see what the Rangers dial up here now for the fourth quarter, as we've mentioned all night. Getting to a big lead early, you probably want to see that clock wind down as quickly as you can. And we're looking to see more and more run plays here as the game continues.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's a school night. They may have homework to do. Who knows? Who knows? Those Sunday morning, Carson's nodding over here. He's got work to do. Those Friday morning classes hit hard after Thursday night football games. Jesuit has won its last 7 district openers over the last 7 years. So this looking like it'll become the 8th consecutive district opener win for Jesuit, as Kevin has the Vanguard Auto Group scoring summary for the Irving Tigers.
3 plays that time for the Irving Tigers, 75 yards in 1 minute and 19 seconds, thanks to the big play from Fred Green. But it's capped off with a 12-yard QB sneak from Elijah Garcia. That scoring summary is brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group. With GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas, we're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers. Again, Chris, as Tom Walsh told me a couple of weeks ago, that Vanguard Auto Group is probably the best deal sponsor-wise so far for the Rangers season this year, because you get it after every scoring drive, home and away.
Certainly tonight. Definitely a different look for the Jesuit return, knowing that we could have an onside kick for Irving, but instead they chip it up in the air. It goes down to Corson Lindley. He had an electrifying return to begin the game tonight. It's a tall kid, Corson. Another good return there for the 6'1 sophomore.
Yeah, reminiscent of that first kick, a little pooch kick out to the wide sideline. As you mentioned, Corson Lindley did well to come down with it. He comes all the way across the field for probably about a 20-yard return that time, and the Rangers will start inside Tiger field position here.
Looks like it's Beck Berry back out for Jesuit. J.P. Livingston had a drive earlier in the game and tossed a touchdown. This time it's back to Berry. It's Max Smith standing to his left. He'll take the handoff and pick up about 5 yards. Brandon Hickman, this is his 15th season at the helm of the Jesuit football program in the 14 previous seasons. So here's some interesting stats from Brian Henry. In Brandon Hickman's first 3 seasons, 2011, 2012, and 2013, the Rangers lost their their district opener. But since then, Jesuit is 10-1 in district opening games, and they're 9 minutes and 45 seconds away from advancing to 11-1 in district openers in the last 12 years.
As we mentioned at the beginning, with the non-district schedule being so tough, that really goes to Coach Hickman and this coaching staff over the years, being able to get their guys ready for the first week of district play, as we see Ty DeBow again escaping some early tacklers in the backfield to get 5 yards that time for the Rangers. But Coach Hickman and this staff, they know what they're doing when they get these guys ready for the district opener.
Yeah, Livingston was at quarterback. He handed the ball to DeBow, and check this out on this replay. DeBow looked like he was going to be tackled right there, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He escapes multiple would-be tacklers and turned what could have been a loss into about a 5-yard gain. 3rd down, 3 to go at the 42-yard line. Irving jumped. Livingston thought about continuing the play, but it gets called. In fact, Livingston saw Carter Casey, and Casey had a step on his man and was headed for the end zone, but the officials went ahead and whistled it dead.
Yeah, they blowed that one dead. Otherwise, I think J.P. Livingston, with that arm we've seen already tonight and so far this season, was going to air that one out, knowing he had a free play. Looks like we got a couple of new linemen in there for Jesuit. Want to give a shout out to Luca Martinelli on the block that time on first down from the run from DeBow. And now it's first down again for the Rangers after the penalty.
Yeah, just inside the 40-yard line. Livingston looked like fakes the scramble, hands the ball off. DeBow, shifty, moving to his left, moving to his right. He finally is surrounded by black jerseys, but not before picking up 8, 9, or 10 yards. He took all those black jerseys, forced him to fall forward, and picks up a Jesuit first down.
Yeah, really nice cut that time by DeBow on the counter. As we see here, he comes back across as he's going to make it to his left. He cuts back, gets this ball upfield, and then that's what ultimately leads to the first down. We'll see the pile get pushed here 3 or 4 more yards. Another first down for this Ranger offense. Continuing to see some new players in the game. It looks like 88, Samuel DeMarco out wide here on the left for your Ranger offense, with Livingston at quarterback, DeBow and Lucas Mayer in the backfield.
Yeah, you mentioned Martinelli and Barnaby Cox earlier. I also see Sebastian Alvarez out there on the offensive line trying to create some space for Ty DeBow. DeBow gets right about back to the line of scrimmage, though not a whole lot more than that. We'll also see Hudson Krug out there, Hudson Krug on the offensive line. He's a sophomore, a big kid, but doing the work, the heavy work down there on the offensive line for Jesuit.
Clock continues to tick here for this Ranger offense, and they're patiently waiting the call to come in from the coaches from the far sideline. 7:20 now left in this fourth quarter. Your Rangers have a 52-13 lead over the Irving Tigers.
Looks like Jackson Wagas back down there for Jesuit on the offensive line. Here's Livingston, 2nd down and 9. The blitz coming, tosses it over for Ty DeBow. DeBow's there. He'll get 7 or 8 more. He'll pick up the first down, and Jesuit is in the red zone again.
Cool under pressure that time is J.P. Livingston, your sophomore quarterback. Let's see the replay here. He drops back. They let the line through. He just takes a couple of more backpedal steps, lofts it up. DeBow is right where he needs to be with wide open room to run. A good gain that time, and well done by Livingston to avoid the incoming pressure from the Irving Tigers. We'll take a break here as there's an Irving Tiger player down on the far side of the field. We're not live yet. Oh.
The Rockmore Roofing Solutions fourth quarter here at Ellis Stadium. From kickoff to final whistle, Rockmore Roofing has you covered. Proudly serving our neighbors and supporting Jesuit Ranger football. Rockmore Roofing, your fourth quarter partner. You got me, Kevin? You got me? Can you hear?
I can hear you. We can't hear each other in the headset.
Yeah, well,
so
you know,
tonight,
that's part of the fun.
Apologies to the
You
folks
never
that came
know.
back on a little bit early. We were unmuted on our microphones. Still just getting used to this thing up here, Chris. You and I in the
I don't know if we'll
broadcast
ever
booth.
be used to it.
We're excited to have done, hopefully here, knock on wood, 6:37 left, our first full football game. There's Lucas Mayer off the right side.
Flag comes in an area that it might be against Jesuit, but Mayer has some serious speed. The kid can get 0 to 60 quickly, and he did exactly that, though we're going to have a flag and should have communication from the White Hat momentarily as this thing may be coming back. It is a penalty against Jesuit. It'll be enforced from the spot, and Jesuit will get pushed back a little bit, trying to add to what is already a large Ranger lead at 52-13.
Yeah, unfortunate that time. It was a great run by Lucas Mayer out to the right, Chris, but the penalty is going to bring him back now. It's 1st and over 15. Livingston back with 2 backs in the backfield, and here comes Ty DeBow out in motion.
Livingston in the gun. He'll take it himself. It's a designed run. He got hit pretty hard, but he gained about 3 or 4 yards. It's been a good night for Jesuit's co-offensive coordinators John Livingston and Patrick Radican. I would say it's also been a good night for the defensive coordinator Don Woods and for the full Jesuit Ranger coaching staff. A number of players scoring their first touchdowns of the season. A number of players hitting career highs tonight. And Jesuit is off to an excellent start in District 7 6A.
Yeah, Chris, it's been really great fun to see this Ranger offense come alive, as we've already mentioned. Good for these players to gain some confidence early in the district part of the season as Ty DeBow goes out around to the left side again, and he's going to keep going.
Look at him fight through
I keep taking your job. I'm sorry, Chris. It looks like there's a penalty flag here on the left. DeBow makes it in the end zone, but not much celebration yet from the Rangers.
Every time you take my job, we score. So maybe we just need to switch jobs. Maybe it'll help the Jesuit offense. We got another holding penalty here against Jesuit, so this one's coming back as well, just as the last one did. We mentioned it earlier. We'll be back on the air next week, Friday night. Rangers taking on J.J. Pierce. I say we. I think, is that a Tom? It's a B.J. Antes game, isn't it?
And Chris Martinez
it's a
on that
B.J.
one.
Antes, Chris Martinez game. That's fantastic next week against J.J. Pierce. Tom Walsh will be back with you as the Rangers take on Lake Highlands on October 10th. And Kevin and I will be back with you in 3 weeks from tonight at this exact. Are we in the same spot in 3 weeks? as we take on Irving MacArthur.
Yeah, I think with our rotating broadcast, Chris, I will do as many games here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium as I will at Ranger Stadium in Dallas. Looking forward to joining Tom and Babe Laufenberg for the October 10th game against Lake Highlands. And there's DeBow again making tacklers miss. Unfortunate that time because he did a great job to get into the end zone on the last play with the penalty, but now it'll be 3rd and long for this Ranger offense as the clock continues to wind under 5 minutes now.
Yeah, Coach Livingston, Coach Raddick, and Coach Hickman rotating a lot of guys in. You mentioned a few different guys getting their first touchdowns of the season. We saw one earlier from Judd Harris. Max Smith had a great first half tonight. Seeing another offensive lineman, Jackson Wagas, back in the game now for Jesuit. So we're seeing a good kind of division of labor, keeping guys healthy, giving guys a chance to contribute to a district win tonight here in Irving.
Yeah, it looks like as a timeout comes here called by Jesuit for the 3rd and long, they're going to want to get this play into these guys and make sure we know what we're doing on this one. As you mentioned, a number of different players in there that we haven't had a chance to see. Looks like, is that 17 Cooper Magoo out there? No, I think we have a double number situation going on. But it'll be exciting to continue to see these young players get minutes on the field for the Rangers.
Yeah, folks can see in the huddle the 17 you're talking about. Cooper's a tall kid, and that's a different 17 there. Could be possibly a JV player here in the huddle there for Jesuit. You mentioned a couple of injured players for Jesuit on the sidelines, hoping to have them back as we continue into District 7, 6A. You know, as we come up on 3rd and long here, Kevin, we briefly mentioned the bye week being Community Days week for seniors at Jesuit, a staple of the Jesuit experience. Livingston on a draw play, a designed quarterback run, and he'll gain himself about 8 to 10 yards. What an awesome experience that even you and I decades later still remember.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And we had a moment to get in touch with Carson Long here, our senior spotter, who's with us about how exciting Community Days was. He mentioned just about the great opportunity to chat with your Jesuit brothers, your senior brothers, who you've been going to school with for 3 years. This is the 4th year together now, and still maybe talking to some students, some guys that you haven't had a chance to chat with so far yet in your Jesuit journey. And that's really the special moment of Community Days. It's just the seniors out there together, all experiencing the retreat for the first time. An important moment for the class to really bond at the beginning of this year.
4th and 10, JP sends his only back in motion, and he'll run it himself and not get the first down, so Irving will take over on downs. No, but you're exactly right, Kevin. I mean, looking back on my Jesuit experience, certainly, you know, it's been longer than I care to admit since I've been on Community Days, but it's a seminal moment in your Jesuit career. You think about freshman retreat, you think about midpoint retreat, junior cross mass, and then as a senior, that one kind of unifying experience for the entire senior class, Community Days.
Yeah, it's a special opportunity for all of us, and like you said, Chris, many great memories from those times. For the few folks that are maybe still listening out there tonight, one fun story that I remember from our Community Days, and having my dad's inside perspective as a staff member at Jesuit back then. Jordan Spieth, class of 2011 with me out at Community Days, and even then was quite the golfer, had played in the Byron Nelson early in his time at Jesuit as a sophomore, as a young player, and Jordan asked if he could bring his golf club to Community Days, was told that he could not bring the entire set, but he really desired to have some sort of contact with the club, so they did allow him to bring a wedge. And I remember during the free time walking around and seeing Jordan holding his wedge and swinging here and there, just getting the grip, getting the feel, since he couldn't practice for the couple of days that we were at Community Days. And that just shows you how intense he was about it then, and obviously it's worked out well for him since then.
I remember 6 months later at graduation, I think, did he miss graduation because he was at the Byron?
He did. He missed our graduation that weekend. He was playing in the Byron Nelson instead. A good enough excuse.
Yeah, good excuse. He missed your speech, too. Kevin, a Bishop Lynch Award winner for here at Jesuit. And gave a great speech, if I remember correctly.
You can only say that if you know that I'm going to come back and say that Chris Ackles, 2009 Bishop Lynch Award winner and speaker at graduation. While we're here, even though he's not listening, let's say 2007 Matthew Ackles, Chris's older brother, the Bishop Lynch Award winner and speaker at graduation.
Here we are decades later, and they're still sticking microphones in our
And nobody
faces.
remembers my speech. I can guarantee you that. I don't even remember it that well personally.
Yeah.
The Tigers continue to drive here. That's Fred Green for the first down and more. This Ranger defense, some young talent trying to get some experience at the varsity level. Tigers are looking to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, Green's an athlete and a tough kid. I mean, he fights through a lot of tackles. Dean Gafford in on the tackle there for Jesuit. We also saw, I believe, Duncan Blankenship involved in a tackle earlier. Chase Brown involved in a tackle earlier. So some of these guys who work really, really hard week in and week out, but may not necessarily be in the starting 11, getting a chance to contribute to a district win tonight. A really cool moment for these Jesuit sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw number 44, senior Major McMullen out there, 6'4", 170. It's great to see some of these names and numbers, as you mentioned, Chris, that we don't see necessarily every single week, and giving these guys some good playing experience in UIL 6A football. Not everybody can say that after they've graduated high school and college. They played UIL, Texas UIL 6A football.
Our Mosley Dental Group post-game show won't be a long one, but we hope you'll stick with us. At Mosley Dental Group, we provide advanced dental solutions and personal attention to our patient family. The incomplete pass just inside the 2-minute warning as Irving is seeing if they can add a few more points to the board despite the 52-13 score. Jesuit with a big lead here at the district opener. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night as the Rangers take on J.J. Pierce. We hope you'll join us in person at Ranger Stadium next Friday, and if not, join us right here on YouTube on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network. A week later, the Rangers are home again, taking on Lake Highlands on October 10th, and then in 3 weeks, we'll be right back here at Ellis Stadium as the Rangers take on MacArthur. District 7 6A play is underway. Tigers looking to throw and find that looked like Fred Green again. The throw was a little bit overthrown by Garcia. Eli Long on the coverage for Jesuit along with J.D. Moore.
That looked like the same exact play, Chris. That little play action had Garcia rolling out to the right, looking for Fred Green in the flat to make the play. As you mentioned, that's number 41, junior Eli Long, the linebacker who was in great coverage right in front of Green, forced Garcia to throw the ball over him, and that meant over Green as well. Incomplete pass.
Given the score, a running clock situation inching us closer to the Mosley Dental Group post-game show. It'll be a quick one in just a moment. We'll bring you some stats from the game, some final thoughts before we prepare for J.J. Pierce next week. Garcia under center for the Tigers on 3rd down and 10. He'll be throwing the ball again. Rolls to his right, facing some pressure from Jesuit. Throws it out of bounds. It looks like the pressure for Jesuit came from Dean Gafford, who's made his presence known here in the 4th quarter. Got some help from Manny Uzor as the Jesuit defense battens down the hatches.
Yeah, and for those of you that are watching there, the line judge here on the close side of the field, an amazing rugby-style toss for about 40 yards, it looked like, from the sideline all the way out to the middle of the field. And that'll be the last play of this one, Chris. Jesuit's going to get their first victory of the season.
The final seconds tick away here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, and your final score, Jesuit 52, Irving 13. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back for the Mosley Dental Group postgame show here on the Jesuit Ranger Radio Network.
Safe travel back home across town. And remind everyone, just as you're making your way to the parking lot, we're across the road, the parking lot. Most of it, it's going in. We've got some band entertainment, courtesy of the Irving Tiger Band. They'll be coming up in a few minutes. Thank you. you again for coming out to join Longfellow Stadium tonight. I wish you a pleasant evening.
The Mosley Dental Group post-game show. At Mosley Dental Group, we provide advanced dental solutions and personal attention to our patient family. We promise you will never feel like an anonymous number on a chart. Instead, we'll greet you warmly by name and look forward to your visit at the Mosley Dental Group. We anticipate head coach Brandon Hickman is likely to join us here in the post-game show, and he will likely be in a good mood after a 52-13 win here in the district opener at Irving. They're working on some final stats behind us, working on a final tweet from Carson Long at Radio Jesuit, and our head coach Brandon Hickman will join us in just a moment. Kevin, a great night for Jesuit getting the first win of the season.
Yeah, Jesuit comes in and spoils Irving homecoming here on Thursday night against the Tigers. You can just see, as the camera points out there on the field, a lively group as coaches talk up this Ranger team, get them excited. It's time now to build momentum for the Rangers here in the District 7-6A slate. We've got a lot of games coming up against good teams. This is a good way to start the season in district.
Yeah, the 0-3 non-district record does not have any impact on playoff seeding or playoff performance. This game does. So Jesuit 1-0 when it comes to the playoffs seeding. As we mentioned, Athletic Director Kyle Harriman joined us at halftime. We're hoping to have head coach Brandon Hickman joining us here post-game in just a moment. And before we do that, we want to say thank you to those who really helped us on this broadcast tonight. Kevin, let's take a look at some of those stats before we hear from Coach Hickman.
Yeah, Chris, first downs for this Ranger offense tonight, 17. Rushing yards, we had 32 attempts for 180 rushing yards combined. Passing yards, 8 of 11 for 149. Total offense, 329 yards. That's great to see for the Ranger offense after the years, the season so far, not having those kind of numbers. Defense also had a great night. Looking at tackles, and here comes Coach Hickman for the interview.
Kevin, I'll interrupt the stats. We got Coach Hickman with us. Coach, congratulations, first win of the season. Tell us about your offense scoring 52 points tonight.
Well, I thought we played really well. We executed at a high level. We wanted to come out, make a statement early, and didn't want them to hang around, and I felt like we did that. We still have some room to patch up a couple little things, but I thought all in all, the kids played really well and did a good job tonight.
No doubt about it. All three phases. The defense looked good. Your special teams had a great return to begin the game. You had a block, punt, scoop, and score. All three phases looked like they were clicking on all cylinders tonight.
Yeah, we were on all three phases. I thought we tackled well. I thought our block punt was a nice shift early in the first half. I don't know who blocked that. You guys might know, but we scooped it and scored and did a lot of good things, like you said, on all three phases. And got some things to patch up and come ready to go on Monday. And we got a big district game at home next Friday. I'm really glad we're getting to play at home.
Coach, exciting to get some new players, new faces in to the game this evening. Tell us about those young guys and what you're happy about moving forward here as the rest of the season goes on.
There were some new faces to play tonight, and some were seniors, and I was proud of those guys getting in the game. I told the starters we're going to cheer for the backups just as much as they cheer for you. So, we've had guys in this program for 4 years that got on the field, and we scored on a play here. It was a great block by Sebastian Alvarez. And Wesley Lancaster, a couple of those linemen that have been in the program, like I said, for a long time. They had the chance to shine. And it was exciting to see that. So,
Coach, one more, we'll let you go. By the way, it was Jackson Gare who blocked the punt, then did the scoop and score. It was all him on that play. Let me ask you this. You intentionally schedule a really tough non-district schedule starting the year 0-3. How do you convince these guys, look, you are ready for district play and you can go execute, and they did it tonight?
Yeah, the biggest thing, we've always scheduled big. I just believe in it. Non-district doesn't count. And, I don't really care about records and this and that. The main thing is the district, and that's what counts. So our focus was being 1-0 tonight, and we were able to do that, and now it's moving on to the next. So, I think keeping the kids all in the right attitude, I think that's a big part of it. went on 3 twice, I think, since I've been here, non-district, and we ended up winning the district. So that's our goal this year.
I can tell you the stats, Coach. 8 of the last 9 seasons you had a losing record non-district. 8 of the last 9 seasons you had a winning record in district. We're proud of you. We're proud of these boys. Nice win tonight, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
you.
Coach.
Coach Brandon Hickman of the Jesuit Rangers, 52-13 winners tonight here in Irving. Kevin, we rudely interrupted your stats here on the Mosley Dental Group postgame show. Let's go back to you to wrap those up.
Always happy to interrupt that to talk to Coach Hickman. Such a great emblem of Jesuit athletics and of this program, Chris, for so many years. Now, want to shout out just a couple of offensive statistics. Ty DeBow has a great night, 5 carries, 66 yards for a touchdown. His long was that 52-yard touchdown in the third quarter, his first touch of the night. Judson Harris, 9 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Well-deserved touchdown at the end of that drive in the third quarter as well. Max Smith, who led the way in the first half, had 7 carries just for 34 yards, but 2 touchdowns. And Lucas Mayer, the senior, starting running back, 5 carries for 17 yards, no touchdowns tonight. So the running attack really leading the way for the Rangers this evening.
Sebastian Dunn, Mercury Cox, and Gianni Gutierrez, the students behind us on the statistician team. For all of them, for Carson Long, who was our spotter and Twitter host this evening. For Sports Information Director Brian Henry, for Athletic Director Kyle Harima, for Zach and his marvelous team of videographers at Tradio, for Chris Martinez, who is still with us every step of the way from afar, and who knows, may have been keeping his own stats. It's been a joy tonight. It takes a village to broadcast these games. We thank you for joining us. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night from Ranger Stadium as Jesuit takes on J.J. Pierce. Your final score tonight, Jesuit 52, Irving 13. The Rangers are 1-0 in district play. Kevin, any final thoughts before we hit the road?
Great night here for the Rangers, Chris. I think mostly, as we talk about, just to get the mindset right after 3 hard losses against 3 good teams. A little bit of a bumpy start to the season. You have a lightning delay that takes away half of a game. Now you get a bye week, you reset, the team comes back and has a win against Irving. That really is a statement win, I think, for this team at the beginning of the year. Now there's a little bit of belief in the team. Now there's a little bit of excitement. Now there's a little bit of momentum going forward as you look at the rest of this district schedule. And it'll be fun to see, can the Rangers keep this going in the rest of District 7-6A?
Absolutely. We hope you'll join us next week. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jesuit 52, Irving 13 for our entire team in the booth here at Ellis Stadium. Thanks for being a part of this one with us. We hope you'll join us next week for Jesuit versus Pierce. Jesuit winners tonight, 1-0 in district play. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. We'll talk to you next week. Go Rangers.